Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto has heritage Uzumaki clan services. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by Black Caesar and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Prologue, Heritage Revealed. The Yondaime Hokage Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina made preparations along with the Sandaime Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and his wife Biwako to ensure that the Kyuubi no Yoko would remain sealed within Kushina as she gave birth to their son. However, despite keeping her pregnancy a secret, a masked man with one visible Sharingan discovered Kushina's location, killing the Anbu security unit, Biwako and Anbu medic Taji. He managed to break the seal, seizing control of the Kyuubi. Since Kushina survived the extraction, the masked Uchiha tried to have the Kyuubi kill her, but the Yondaime got her and their son to safety. Soon afterwards, the masked Uchiha summoned the Kyuubi inside Konoha and ordered it to destroy the village. While Kyuubi was rampaging in the village and decimating the shinobi forces that tried to repel it, the Yondaime defeated and cancelled the contract seal the masked Uchiha had with the Kyuubi during their fight to free the fox from his control. Despite that, the Kyuubi being sealed away for decades still harbored a deep hatred towards Konohagakure, resolved to destroy the village without orders from the masked man. Before Kyuubi could annihilate Konoha, the Yondaime summoned Gamabunta on top of the fox, and quickly harassed it to Kushina's location. Kushina used adamant sealing chain to creating a barrier, attempting to subdue the Kyuubi, planning to seal it back inside her before she dies. However, the Yondaime, knowing that the Kyuubi would revive without a host and how great a threat the masked man would be in the future, came up with a plan to give Naruto the means to combat the masked Uchiha in the future when he decides to attack again. Since the Kyuubi's chakra was too immense to seal within an infant, the Yondaime first used the Shiki Fujin, dead demon consuming seal, to separate its in half, sealing it within himself, then prepared the Hak no Fuin Shiki, 8 trigram sealing style, sealing the yang half within his son. Kushina's chain loosened from the Kyuubi's reduced size. It attempted to stop the process by killing their son, but both his parents sacrificed themselves to protect him, completing the sealing. Once the barrier went down, the Sandaime and 2 Jonins found Kushina holding a baby. With her last ounce of strength, she told him to take care of him, and that his name was Naruto, named after a character in the first novel of Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin, his godfather. The Kyuubi, finding itself sealed behind a large cage within Naruto's Mindscape, analyzed the seal and situation behind its release by the masked Uchiha, and subjugation by his Sharingan Genjutsu, then resealing within its latest Uzumaki host, understanding the Yondaime's intentions. However, it calmly decided to wait, weakening the seal by influencing its host as much as possible to use its power. The Sandaime immediately had a meeting with the Konoha Council and shinobi commanders. Konoha Council consisted of his old teammates Elders Mitokado Hamura and Yudatane Koharu, along with Elder Shimura Danzo, who also commanded Root, a subdivision of Anbu. Also present were Jonin Commander Nara Shikaku and Anbu Commander Tora to decide how to handle the Yondaime's son, Konoha's new Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Naruto. Danzo has proposed that he properly train Naruto to become Konoha's weapon, and his fellow elders agree. Shikaku disagreed and suggested that Naruto be sent to the orphanage along with many other children from the attack, allowing him to live a normal childhood with his status and legacy being kept hidden, with Tora finding that to be the logical decision. The Sandaime agreed the best place for Naruto was Konoha's orphanage, but his mother's lineage and inheritance revealed upon graduation from the academy. He prohibited all clans and those with connection to his parent from having contact with him. Everyone but the younger generation knew that the Kyuubi was sealed into a baby boy through rumors, but did not know exactly who, except for the Sandaime, Konoha Council, Jonin Commander Shikaku, Anbu Commander Tora, and the Anbu. Eventually word got out that Naruto was the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, so the Sandaime passed a law forbidding it be told to the younger generation unless by Naruto or the current Hokage. 4 years later, the orphanage matron expels Naruto in the middle of a cold, rain-drenching April night. He wanders the outskirt of the village seeking shelter until he discovers an abandoned temple with a giant spiral at the entrance. Inside, at the center, is a podium of sorts where several Oni masks hang beneath 3 connected spirals with ornate, black flames underneath. He tried making his way through the building, slighted, laminated by the moon. He accidentally stumbles, cutting his hand reaching up to the wall to regain his balance, when suddenly he finds himself standing before an elderly man. Hello, Naruto stammers, fearful the elderly man might hurt him like the other adults and children at the orphanage. The man smiles, welcome little one, no need to worry, my name is. 2 years later, Anbu Captain Inu finally finds a 6-year-old Naruto rummaging through a trash can in an alley, causing Naruto to jump, instinctively crouching low defensively. Inu pauses, sorry Naruto, didn't mean to scare you. Naruto narrows his eyes, how do you know my name, Inu-san? Inu rubs the back of his neck, well, I was sent by the Hokage to find and retrieve you. Naruto straightens up in a relaxed stance, but Inu could see he still had his guard up. How do I know you're telling the truth? Inu cannot believe a child is questioning a member of Anbu, I just want to escort you to the Hokage Tower to ensure you make it safely. Naruto nods, okay, lead the way. As they walk, Inu hands Naruto a black face mask to hide his whiskered birthmarks from public view. Kakashi mentions, sometimes it helps to hide unique facial feature that might you more recognizable. Naruto looked up at Inu, unconsciously touching his whiskered birthmarks. Arigato, Inu-san. Inu nods as they continue their walk in peaceful silence. Once they arrive, the Sandaime requests his secretary take Naruto while he talks with Inu. The Sandaime immediately puts a privacy seal and Inu reports, I found him looking for food in the garbage of an alley. He immediately became defensive, as if I was going to attack. The Sandaime puffed on his pipe a few times. He feels a tremendous amount of resentment from the village, which would explain his brief disappearance. Inu nods, I propose that Naruto stay with me to begin his training to be a shinobi. The Sandaime vehemently opposes, I know you mean well, but you know I forbid all clans and those with connection to his parent from having contact with him. Inu now looked downtrodden, nodding and understanding, making one last request. I would like to be Naruto's sensei when he graduates the academy. The Sandaime agrees, I will make a special notation to your file, but you're still prevented from any contact with Naruto until he graduates. The Sandaime notifies his secretary Naruto may enter the room. As Naruto enters, Inu leaves, ruffling his hair as he passes by. Take care of yourself, kid. Naruto smiles, nodding, you as well, Inu-san, turning his attention to the Sandaime, Hokage-sama. The Sandaime smiles at Naruto, Naruto-kun, I've been looking for you since being informed you left the orphanage. Naruto raised a brow, is that what they told you? He shook his head, I was kicked out in the middle of the night roughly 2 years ago, Hokage-sama. I've been surviving on my own in the streets while taking up shelter wherever I could. The Sandaime became infuriated, thank you for clearing up that misinformation for me, I shall rectify the mistake. As such, I will place you in a loft and prepare your registration papers for the academy in a few months. That is if you wish to attend. Naruto bow, arigato Hokage-sama. The Sandaime walks from behind his desk smiling. Think nothing of it, my boy, now how about I take you out to eat? Naruto nods, donning his new face mask, leaving with the Sandaime. 2 years later. A few months after the new generation of clan heirs began their first year at the academy, consisting mostly of general study books, introduction to chakra and chakra control with physical training, a tragic event occurs, shaking Konoha to its core. Uchiha Itachi, accused earlier of killing his best friend Uchiha Shursui, but an investigation only discovered a suspicious suicide note. Itachi later massacres most of Uchiha clan, leaving his brother, whom fell unconscious due to the mental trauma of Tsukuyomi. Sasuke became isolated, broody, and the epiphany of Uchiha arrogance, trying to only focus on getting strong to kill his brother and avenge his clan. Naruto, on the other hand, was mysterious because of his disappearance for 2 years and his mask. All the sensei still shunned him by identifying him by name, except later on by Yumino Iruka, personally chosen by the Hokage. He grew to have a few precious people consisting of Anbu Inu, the Hokage, Iruka sensei, Tuchi and Ayam from his favorite ramen stand, and his previous secret sensei. His time in the academy was hard, with students pestering him to see under his mask, along with the senseis trying to hinder or sabotage his education. He learned the kawarimi, henge, and rope escape technique. However, he could never perform the bunshin correctly, as his clones came out sickly no matter how much he had practice. He knew he was performing it correctly, but speculated that his chakra was just too dense and large for the simple technique. Naruto gained a few benefits from the sensei trying to sabotage him as he became ambidextrous, greatly improved his observation and self-control. His last few years, he wore an orange and blue jumpsuit dubbed Orange Monstrosity, becoming a harmless troublemaker, and started skipping classes and pulling pranks. No one actually could catch him in the act, only finding his calling card, a King Prankster seal tag that released washable bright-colored paint on whoever approached it, but secretly it was his unique way of training in stealth, infiltration, espionage, and sabotage. He downplayed his abilities, labeled as the dead last, failing the academy genin exam for the 3rd time due to the bunshin. Until Mizuki-sensei provided a way out by informing him that taking a special exam and retrieving the Scroll of Seals, also known as the Forbidden Scroll, to learn a technique and bringing it to a secret location would allow him to pass. Naruto saw through the deception, but he figured that if he did learn a technique, while helping capture a traitor, that the Hokage might pass him posthumously. He had no problem infiltrating the Hokage Tower and locating the scroll, making sure that the Hokage seen him. The Sandaime shocked Naruto. What are you doing with the Forbidden Scroll? Naruto immediately hinged into a naked blonde female to incapacitate him, shaking his head as he escaped, thinking perverted old man. He found a nice spot in the forest near the disclosed location and opened the scroll, seeing the bane of his existence, a bunshin technique, but this one was called the Tajukage. Bunshin. Naruto resolved himself, I need to learn a bunshin technique, so I might as well try this one. After several hours, Iruka found him worn out from training to learn the technique. Naruto, what have you done stealing the Forbidden Scroll? Naruto smiles, feigning innocence. Did I pass Iruka-sensei? Mizuki-sensei said if I retrieved this scroll and learned a technique I would pass. Then Mizuki shows up to take the scroll away. Ah, Naruto, good job in retrieving the scroll for me, now hand it over. Iruka stepped in front of Naruto. Mizuki, what is the meaning of this? Mizuki smiled sinisterly. I was thinking what better way to gain power and destroy that demon than to frame him for stealing the forbidden scroll. He then looked to Naruto. Bring me the scroll, Naruto, and I'll tell why everyone in the village loathes you. Iruka shouts, stop Mizuki, you've gone too far. Mizuki smiles wickedly, it's because you're the… Iruka yells, interrupting him, shut up Mizuki. Mizuki laughs maliciously, you're the Kyuubi Naruto, and Iruka hates you too because you killed his parents. Naruto feigns shock, though silently shocked. Iruka lost his parents during the Kyuubi attack. Mizuki takes the opportunity and tosses the Fuma shuriken on his back to attack, immediately shielded him being hit in the back. Run Naruto, protect the forbidden scroll. Eventually Naruto uses Tajukage Bunshin to protect Iruka after hearing his heartfelt recognition of him as a fellow Konoha shinobi, viciously pummeling Mizuki with a few hundred Kage Bunshins after hearing Iruka's heartfelt acknowledgement of him as a shinobi of Konoha. An ANBU squad showed up retrieving Mizuki's body and rushed Iruka to the hospital, while another ANBU escorted Naruto to the Hokage. The Hokage thanked Naruto for keeping the scroll safe and clarified the details of him being the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. He congratulated him on displaying the necessary skills to pass the Academy Genin exam with a month break to prepare for team assignments. However, unbeknownst to anyone, Naruto had copied the Tajukage Bunshin, Hashimen, 8 Gates, Kuchios, Edo Tensei, and Hak no Fuin Shiki. Somewhere in a dark cave, Pain, leader of Amigekure, and the figurehead leader of Akatsuki, was meditating when a figure walked into the room wearing an orange spiral mask, saying, Zetsu has completed his reconnaissance mission. Pain nods, saying, good, I'll have him inform the others. Pain left using the projection jutsu to appear in a cave with the other members of Akatsuki. Pain said, Zetsu, update everyone on their targets. Zetsu proceeded, saying, the Ichibi is still considered unstable as last reported. The Nibi and Hachibi possess total of their Biju are both in Kumogakure training together, but their exact location is unknown. Sanbai Jinchuriki is still dealing with Kirigakure's civil war. The Yambi is a hermit reporting to the Tsuchikage every few months. Exact location is still an unknown. The Rokubi is on one of the many islands of Mizu no Kuni. Exact location unknown. The Nanabai is believed to be somewhere in Takigakure, and Gobi has been sealed, which leaves the Kyuubi. Itachi face was impassive as Zetsu said, the Kyuubi failed the Academy Genin exam for the 3rd time but was manipulated into stealing the legendary Scroll of Seals. Itachi eyebrow discreetly rose briefly but maintained his stoic visage. He used the Nidame's Kenjutsu Tajukage Bunshin, defeating Chunin-level Konoha Academy sensei and traitor Mizuki. He has been allowed to pass as this year's dead last but is on a month break before team assignments. Pain said there are still too many unknowns to begin moving right now. Zetsu, continue tracking the Jinchurikis, the rest of you continue gathering funds, dismissed. The next day, Naruto woke up noticing a crow on his bedroom windowsill that seemed to its head and then flew away, but ignored it. When he got out the bathroom and dressed, he noticed there was a scroll on his and thought, who left a scroll in my apartment? Naruto walked over, picking up the scroll and began to read. Hello Naruto. This is Karasa, but my true is Uchiha Itachi. It's been a long time since we last meet. I'm currently on a long-term infiltration mission in the Akatsuki, an organization of S-rank missing needs. Now that you've graduated, I want to tell you to be extremely cautious because of NA founded by Shimura Danzo, which was a training subdivision of ANBU. The Sandame officially disbanded them and removed Danzo from the Konoha Council after he circumvented his wishes, ordering the Uchiha massacre. They are possibly monitoring you because of your status as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Danzo wants to use you as a weapon against the other nations. He stole Uchiha Shursue's eye, a Mangekyo Sharingan with a special genjutsu ability that can manipulate the thoughts of others. Some operatives wear similar attire to ANBU, while others usually wear a short black midriff jacket with red straps over the shoulders along with a tipless tanto, so be careful and cautious of them. There's also an Uchiha in an orange swirl mask with one eye hole, who may have been the cause the Kyuubi attack that led to your parents' death and helped in executing the Uchiha massacre. He claims to be Uchiha Madara and is the real mastermind behind the Akatsuki. Naruto was shocked at the revelation he had been trained by Itachi. He clenched his fist angrily, turning his knuckles white that this masked Uchiha was possibly the cause of his and many others' suffering. I'll kill him. Madara, or Tobi, his current alias, told Pain, the leader and one of the founder of the Akatsuki, about the Jinchurikis and the Bijus they have sealed inside them. He claimed that we could bring peace to the world if we gathered all the Bijus together to create an ultimate weapon. Pain would use the weapon, making people know true pain and hence fear war, preventing it until the weapon was required again. Originally, Pain, Konan and their friends created the Akatsuki to unite Aim no Kuni by peaceful means, but something drastic happened, changing their ideals. Pain first killed Senshu no Hanzo, Hanzo of the Salamander, his entire family, and all those that followed or associated with him. Now the Akatsuki consists of S-rank missing nins. The other members of Akatsuki believe that he's the leader, but Tobi is the true mastermind and is the strongest. The Akatsuki's job is to capture the Jinchurikis of all 9 bijus, then seal them away in a unique statue called Gedo Mazo that Pain can summon, and control it with the Rinnegan, the strongest dojutsu. Currently there are 9 members now, but we were 10 in the Akatsuki, not including Tobi. Orochimaru of the Sannin was a member but left after trying to take my body with some immortality jutsu he created and failed, running off after I cut his hand off. Then there is Akasuna no Sasori from Sunagakure and Deidara from Iwagakure, Haiden from Yugagakure and Kakuzu from Tuki, known as the Immortal Duo. Also, the 2 in charge of recovering you are Hashigaki Kisame from Kirigakure and me of Konoha. Another one to watch out for is Zetsu the spy and reconnaissance expert, so you will have to work on your Uzumaki sensory skills. Pain is the leader, and always has Konan by his side. Also desiring of special attention are Kakuzu's banker Genie and accountant Kia, living somewhere in Hai no Kuni. If you can locate them, that would be a huge detriment to the Akatsuki, as Kakuzu the Akatsuki's treasurer. In order to seal away the bijus, we extract them from their Jinchuriki, resulting in immediate death, except possibly for those with a strong life force like the Uzumaki clan. There were 8 other Jinchurikis, but the Gobi was sealed. This leaves the Ichibi Jinchuriki, Subaku no Gaara, considered unstable, and the youngest son of the Yondaime Kazekage. The Nibi Jinchuriki is a blonde Kumo Jonin named Yujito Ni, and the Hachibi Jinchuriki, considered the guardian of Kumo, is Karabi, the adoptive brother of the Yondaime Reikage. They both possess total control of their biju. The Sanbai Jinchuriki is the Yondaime Mizukage, secretly controlled by Tobi. The Yambi Jinchuriki is a hermit named Rashi from IWA. The Rokubi Jinchuriki is a Kiri missing nin named Yudakata, and lastly the Nanabai Jinchuriki is Fu from Taki. I have provided a custom bingo book with all current Akatsuki members highlighted. I've also added a description of Tobi with the limited information I know, along with Pain and Konan descriptions and abilities from other members' accounts of when they fought them. The Akatsuki travel in pairs, so run as fast and hard as you can if you ever come across someone wearing a black cloak with red clouds. If you ever happen to defeat an Akatsuki member, be sure to retrieve their ring and secure it away, because it will slow down the process in extracting the bijus from their Jinchuriki that already takes 3 days because of the loss of Orochimaru's ring when he defected. I highly advise that you only notify the Sandaime Hokage and Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin about the Akatsuki, as their assistance would be greatly beneficial. Lastly, I hope you get stronger to protect yourself while finding happiness and hopefully peace. I want you to memorize all available knowledge and train hard, enhancing your mental and physical capacity, striving to master the various shinobi arts. When I receive information that you've completed your first successful mission outside the village, I will secretly place you in the bingo book to show that I am proud of you. I will also include your Jinchuriki status and a special notice that you are a master of stealth, infiltration and seduction, a role I want you to embrace, as it will be an advantage in the future. Ja-ne. Naruto then noticed a seal at the bottom when suddenly there was knocking at his door. He quickly tucked the scroll away, answering when a Nico masked Anbu Kunoichi greeted him. Nico stated stoically, "Naruto-san, the Hokage requires your presence." Naruto hesitantly replied, okay, I'll be there soon." Nico nodded and shunshin back to the Hokage to report his arrival. At the Hokage Tower, the Sandaime was sitting behind his desk dealing with paperwork, the bane of all Kages, when Naruto knocked on the door. He answers, "Enter." Naruto kneeling says, "Hokage-sama, you wanted to see me?" The Sandaime and fellow teammates Elder Hamura and Elder Yudataine brows rose. "Naruto-kun, yes, I wanted to inform you of some information before I make an announcement this afternoon to the village." Naruto nodded, asking, "What is it you wanted to tell me?" The Sandaime smiled. "Well, Naruto-kun, now that you've passed the Academy Genin exam, I can reveal your maternal lineage, handing over your inheritance as the last known survivor of the Uzumaki clan, and your cousin Tsunade relinquished her grandmother and clan's possession to you. The Senju compound was renovated according to the specification left by Uzumaki Midosama, with necessary upgrades that you can take residency in now, but return this afternoon for the announcement of your lineage to the village." Naruto feigned excitement. "Yada, I belong to a clan. Can you tell me any about my parents?" The Sandaime frowned. "I can only tell you about your mother, as I can't tell you about your father until you reach Chunin. Her name was Uzumaki Kushina, an XANBU and Jonin with S-rank listing in the bingo books. She was the previous host of the Kyubi, but there were complications during your birth causing it to escape, so the Yondaime sacrificed his life to seal half of it within himself and other half in you." Naruto just nodded, knowing most of the information and mentally noting that he only contained half of the Kyubi. He was proud that his mother was an XANBU and S-rank kunoichi. The Sandaime, happy that Naruto would gain happiness through restoring his clan, asked, "So would you like me to assign a genin squad to assist you?" Naruto shook his head. "No, I don't have much, plus I can make kage bunshins." The Sandaime nodded approvingly, then wrote the directions to the compound. "Wait, another reason I called you was because I received a scroll from Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin for you. I also have a graduation present, which is a scroll of my signature technique. He pulls a scroll his robe, picking up Jiraiya's scroll, passing them to Naruto. Well, I'll see you later this afternoon, but make sure to come by tomorrow for your registration photo. I also advise using your extended break before team assignments to train hard. Naruto nodded, waving him and the Konoha council goodbye. As Naruto left the office, he opened his graduation present, which was a shuriken/kunai kage bunshin, A rank, hand seals, ram, rat, bird, boar, and tiger scroll. He smiled, tucking it away, and opened the scroll from Jiraiya. Dear Naruto, this is your extraordinarily handsome and powerful godfather, the Gamma Sannin Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin. I'm deeply sorry that I have still yet to introduce myself to you personally, but I'm currently on an important mission for the safety of you and Konoha. I have included in the scroll a few books that I personally think you will enjoy, as well as a few jutsu to hone your skills. Lovingly from your godfather, Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin. Naruto sent chakra into the first seal at the bottom of the scroll, and with a puff of smoke 3 books scroll appeared. The Tale of the Utterly Gutsy Shinobi by Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin. Ika Paradise by Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin. Ika Violence by Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin. When he opened the cover to scan, they were all first edition, personally autographed. He sealed the books back and sent chakra to the other seal on the scroll, and with puff of smoke 4 scrolls appeared. Transparent escape technique. Katon, flame bullet, C rank, hand seals, snake, ram, monkey, boar, horse and tiger. Katon, dragon flame, C rank, hand seals, snake, dragon, rabbit and tiger. He sealed them for later and created a few kage bunshins to move all his possessions. He went to Ramen Ichiraki get some ramen before heading to his new clan compound. Once he arrived, he immediately searched for the mask storage temple. Inside Ashina's dimension, Naruto kneeled before an elderly man on the dais sitting on a cushion, Ashina-sama. Ashina chuckled on Naruto-chan, you have grown a lot since I last seen you about 6 years ago. You may be seated. Naruto nodded, arigato, I'm immensely grateful for teaching me kanji, kana, elemental nations geography, shinobi mathematics and science, extensive Uzumaki clan and elemental nations history, observational analysis, deduction, meditation, as well as calligraphy, fuinjutsu, and especially cooking. In addition to the Muay Thai conditioning regime and judo, they helped me greatly when the sensei were hindering or sabotaging my education. An unforeseen benefit from the sensei sabotaging me was I became ambidextrous while enhancing my observational and self-control skills. Unfortunately, I was unable to perform the bunshin and actually failed the academy for a 3rd time, but an unforeseen opportunity presented itself. As an academy sensei and trader wanted me to steal the forbidden scroll, I copied several useful jutsus and learned the Nidame's Tajukage bunshin. I graduated with the clan heirs of almost all the clans except for Kurama, Sarutobi and Senju of course, but I've met the grandson of the Sandame, an heir to the clan earlier, who now looks up to me as his boss and rival to become Hokage. Naruto chuckled lightly at his clone's memory of his time with Konohamaru. Ashina smiled, you are welcome, but there's nothing I wouldn't do for my great-great-grandson. Now that you've graduated, I can modify your Uzumaki tattoo into a clan head's tattoo. Afterwards, they returned to their seated positions. Do you have any news or problems to tell me, Naruto-chan, that might need my wisdom to understand? Naruto nodded. The Sandame finally informed me today of my mother's heritage, provided with her, Mito-sama, and the Senju clan's possessions, and will announce my lineage to the village later this evening. He also had the Senju compound renovated into the new Uzumaki compound according to Mito-sama's specifications, with a restored mask storage temple moved onto it. Ashina nodded. I'd imagine that she would have done so, expecting that after Yuzushiogakura's destruction the Uzumaki survivors would hopefully come together and make a future in Konoha. He handed Naruto a seal diagram with instructions, and Naruto passed it to a kage bunshin he created with mental instructions to place the seal at the center of the compound, charging it. That is the Uzumaki compound restoration seal that will structurally modify the compound buildings instantly to resemble the compound on Yuzushio, as there were many secret aspects that Mito-chan couldn't specify. Naruto nodded. Ashina-sama, I receive a letter from my secret sensei Karasu, who reveal he's Uchiha Itachi, warning me of the secretly ran by Elder Shimura Danzo. They are possible monitoring me because of my status as the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, since he wants to use it as a weapon against the other nations. He also stole my other secret sensei Uchiha Shursue's eye, a Mangekyo Sharingan with a special genjutsu ability that can manipulate the thoughts of others. He also ordered the massacre of the Uchiha clan, circumventing the Hokage wishes. There also seemed to be an organization called the Akatsuki that planned to extract all the bijus from their respective Jinchuriki, having already captured the Gobi biju. The mastermind behind the plan is also an orange swirl masked Uchiha masquerading as Madara that was possibly responsible for the Kyuubi attack during my birth and assisted in the Uchiha massacre, and secretly controls the Yondaime Mizukage. Ashina creased his brow deep in thought. Danzo is considered a war hawk but also extremely loyal to Konoha, wanting its supremacy over the other villages. I would discreetly capture a few of these shinobis masquerading as a mysterious group with a vendetta against Danzo to interrogate them. If possible, without killing him, retrieve the Uchiha eye, as someone like him could be manipulating people. Naruto nodded understandingly as he continued, I suggest that you have the Hokage list the Akatsuki's members and purpose in the bingo book in order to derail them while notify the remaining Jinchurikis and their villages. Remember the common phrase I taught you during your earlier lessons, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Always remember that unless impossible, any enemy can become a great ally. I taught you how to judge an individual's heart and the ways of incapacitating opponents for capture and prisoner seal. That is the best I can advise you as I leave the future in your hands, since this will be our last meeting. I feel it is now time I join our clansmen in the afterlife. Naruto hung his head saddened. Why Ashina-sama, when you can live forever in this dimension, seeing and teaching future generations about our clan's history as you taught me? Ashina shook his head. I have cheated death long enough, Naruto. Now it's your responsibility to pass on my teachings, but don't worry, I will now hand you all the treasures of the clan and Uzushio that were sealed away for safety. He passed a large scroll over to Naruto. In that scroll is sealed the remnants of Uzushio's and the clan's armories, treasuries, libraries, along with the decorative furnishings for the buildings throughout the clan compound. I will now perform my last jutsu in Uzumaki Kinjutsu as a gift to aid you in furthering your goals and bid you farewell. Naruto. Reverse mind absorption. Ashina stood performing the hand seals sequence, then with both his hands in the seal of confrontation with the middle and index fingers twisted together, pressed his left against his temple before slamming his right to Naruto's forehead. An Uzumaki seal circle immediately surrounded each of them as Naruto could feel a vast amount of knowledge entering his mind. He watched in awe as the circles glow a bright blue hue before dimming out as Ashina's body finally collapsed. He caught him before hitting the ground and checked on him, but he had already passed with a content smile upon his face. As Naruto made a few clones to carry the body, he saw a scroll fall along with a note, Naruto, I wish for you to celebrate my life instead of mourn it. I know this is the first death you've witnessed. You'll be in grief, but always know that I'm proud and will watch you from above. Now, I never planned to teach you this, but since the Senju and us are nearly extinct and the trails ahead will be tough, it would greatly assist you. You could even reunite the clans under one banner again if you inject yourself with some Senji DNA. Naruto, wiping the last of his tears, read the instructions to genetic amalgamation, noticing a seal at the bottom feeding chakra into it that destroyed the note once he received a syringe of Ashina's DNA to perform the technique. Naruto created several Kage Bunshins to disperse the large scroll holdings, while another Kage Bunshin took Ashina's body. He stripped down, sitting perfectly still on the floor with a Kage Bunshins, drawing the seal on his body to perform genetic amalgamation, injecting him with Ashina's DNA. The seal instantly glowed briefly before fading. Naruto found his clone and began the cremation rite, ceremoniously wrapping the Ashina in golden silk provided by a Kage Bunshin. He laid Ashina on an outside altar, burning the body with a small fire jutsu Itachi taught him as pure white smoke majestically ascended to the heavens. Later that afternoon, as Naruto made his way back to the Hokage Tower, he could see many people gathering near the tower awaiting the announcement. He discreetly made his way inside, meeting Nico. I'm to take you to the roof where the Hokage, elders and clan heads await your arrival. Nico put a hand on his shoulder and shunshin to the roof. When they arrived, the Sandaime was smiling. Well, Naruto, after this the whole village and elemental nations will know of your Uzumaki lineage. Naruto nodded. I'm ready when you are, Hokage-sama. The Sandaime proceeded to the roof railing, and with that the crowd erupted in applause and cheers of Hokage-sama/Sandaime-sama, to which he held up a hand to quiet the masses. Great people of Konoha, I stand before you today to present you with great news for our village. A random villager shouted, asking, What is it, Sandaime-sama? The Sandaime continued, First, I want to tell many of you of a forgotten history of our village back in the times of the Shodaime. When the Senju and Uchiha clans finally formed an alliance deciding to form a shinobi village, it was the Senju's distant blood relatives, the Uzumaki clan of Yuzuno Kuni, who provided assistance, as they had already formed their own hidden village. The Shodaime had married his wife, Mito of the Uzumaki clan, to foster stronger ties between the clans and Konoha and Uzushio-gakure. They originated from the Senju clan, distinguishing themselves by their expertise in Fuinjutsu, becoming both respected and feared throughout the elemental nations for their prodigious skill. This, however, eventually led to the destruction of Uzushio and the rest of Yuzuno Kuni during the era of Shinobi World Wars, because other nations began to see Uzushio as too great a threat to go unchecked. After the destruction of their homeland, the remaining survivors fled and went into hiding, scattered across the elemental nations. The Uzumaki had a close relationship with Konoha, often supplying Fuinjutsu among other things to the village. For this reason, our shinobi uniforms have the symbol of Uzushio emblazoned on its shoulders and flak jackets. Many shinobi started looking at theirs and comrades' uniforms. Today, I bring you news of the last known descendant of the prestigious Uzumaki clan here in Konoha. He is a distant relative of the Shodaime, Nidaime, and Senju clan. He's a relative of Mito-sama and Tsunade of the legendary Sannin, as well as Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin's godson. Several in the crowd began to murmur while others were thinking about a certain classmate with a similar surname. A random Chunin shouted, "Who is he? Where is he at?" The Sandaime once again raised his hand to quiet the crowd. "He has been among you all his life, and although many of you scorn him for his existence, he still loves this village and carries the will of fire strongly, just like his ancestors before him." The Sandaime then turned and signaled Naruto forward. "I present to you the last known survivor of the prestigious Uzumaki clan now of Konoha, Uzumaki Naruto." The crowd was absolutely dead silent as many took in the revelation. As Naruto looked over the crowd, he could see several expressions, some of shock and awe, while others looked away guilt-filled, but he could still spot a few that held hatred for him and made note of them. Naruto then shocked many in the crowd and Roof, speaking, "People of Konoha, I stand before you today with conviction and determination to always protect my home of Konoha and those most precious to me to the best of my abilities. My dream is to become the greatest Fuinjutsu and Kenjutsu practitioner to ever exist in the elemental nations and restore my clan to its former glory." Several villagers in the crowd began to applaud along with shinobis. Naruto waved as he spotted several of his classmates and former classmates from his early years in the academy. He then turned and bowed to the Sandaime, elders, and clan heads, bidding them farewell. As Naruto was heading back to the compound, he spotted a dark-eyed woman with long black hair braided down her back with jaw-like bang, wearing a simple red dress with a white, off-the-shoulder blouse. She was sitting on a park bench looking gloomy, and he recognized her as Subaki, Mizuki's ex-lover. He walked up to her slowly. "Excuse me, are you Subaki?" She looked up, seeing Naruto's bright cerulean eyes, was startled, shrieking, "Uzumaki-san." Naruto immediately backed up. "Sorry, I just wanted to know if you were well, but call me Naruto." She calmed herself. "That's my fault, I was so preoccupied with my thoughts I didn't even notice you approaching." Naruto nodded. "That's very dangerous for a shinobi, but then again we are in the village. So I take it you were informed about the Mizuki incident." She nodded solemnly and Naruto scratched his nape. "Subaki, may I offer you some tea and a friendly ear?" She thought shortly. "I would appreciate that, Naruto-san." Naruto smiled. "You can just call me Naruto, none of that formality. Now please follow me." He made small talk as he began to stride to the compound by her side. "So are you a Chunin like Mizuki-sensei?" She looked down, meeting his eyes. "Yes, we are childhood friends along with Irika." Naruto smiled. "I wondered what Irika-sensei was like back then." She chuckled slightly and Naruto's brow rose. "Did I say something funny?" She shook her head. "It's that from the rumors about you. You are exactly the same as he was in the academy." Naruto was shocked. "Irika-sensei was a prankster too. I mean, I have no idea what you are referring to." A smile graced her face before frowning. "He was quite the troublemaker, but I guess he just wanted attention after losing his parents during the Kyuubi attack." Naruto lowered his head, remembering what he had learned about one of his most precious people the night of the Mizuki incident, which Subaki took notice. "That was not your fault, Naruto, so don't blame yourself." Naruto was shocked. "You don't see me as the Kyuubi like everyone else?" She laughed. "Silly little boy, do I look like a fool?" Naruto face furrowed. "I'm not a little boy, I'm a shinobi of Konoha." She smirked. "Are you now? You think passing the academy is all it takes to be a genin?" Naruto looked at her inquisitively before she diverted his attention. "It seems we've arrived at your compound." Naruto pulsed his chakra into the gates. They entered with the gates closing immediately behind them. Naruto then directed her. "The clan head manor is this way." Once they entered the living room, he created a kage bunshin. "What kind of tea do you prefer?" She took a seat on the couch, smiling. "Black tea with ginseng, honey with a squeeze of lemon, please." "But you know kage bunshin?" Naruto nodded. "Yes, I learned it in a few hours from the Forbidden Scroll." Her eyes bulged slightly. He learned kage bunshin in a few hours as the kage bunshin left to prepare the tea. Naruto cleared his throat. "Do you mind telling what had you so distraught earlier?" She looked down before facing him. "I was thinking about Mizuki-kun. We were engaged to be married this summer after the academy officially closed." Naruto understood as he sat next to her and put a hand on her shoulder. "It must be hard on you after what transpired." She turned to look into his eyes, amazed by his genuine concern. "He's been going down a dark path ever since meeting Orochimaru on a mission." Naruto, shocked by the revelation. "Orochimaru of the legendary Sannin and greatest traitor of Konoha." She nodded. "It was on the one where he was accused of killing his teammate. I told him to inform the Hokage, but he said that it was a sign for him." Naruto nodded. "Most likely it was Orochimaru he was trying to steal the scroll for." The kage bunshin returned with teas and a plate of roasted vegetables, tea sandwiches and salmon salad on small squares of bread. "Here, Subaki, have a taste. It's the first time I've had a guest." She nodded. "Arigato." Naruto picking up a salmon salad square. This is quite delightful, Naruto." Naruto smiled. "Arigato, Subaki. I like to cook and garden because of the sense and satisfaction of creating something beautiful with my hands." She smiled. "Then I'm sure you'll make a wonderful husband to a lovely girl. However, she would first need to get past that mask of yours." Naruto lowered his head. Girls don't try to get to know me, they're either interested in Sasuke team or seeing under my mask. She lifted his face and they gazed into each other's eyes as she spoke softly. That was not the mask I was referring to. Naruto's eyes bulged slightly before averting his gaze. Why do you choose to hide behind it? Naruto sighed. I don't know, I guess I just got tired of everyone trying to ignore my existence. She nodded understandingly, frowning. Well, I recognize your existence, and I'm sure that there are others like the Hokage that do too, Naruto. So you don't need to hide behind it anymore. Naruto smiled, nodding, glancing at the time. Subaki, it's getting pretty late, I would like to offer you a guest room for the night. She looked apprehensive at first, it's just spending the night in a guest room before calming herself. You don't have to, I can have a Kage Bunshin escort you home. She then looked into his bright cerulean eyes, briefly turning her gaze before standing. I'm a Chunin, Naruto, so I don't need your escort, but I appreciate the offer. She quickly shunshed out the compound. Naruto just scratched his nape before heading to bed. The next morning, Naruto woke up, beginning his morning routine before he had to go take his registration photo today, suddenly remembering the scroll he picked from Ashina's body. After finishing dressing, he pulled out Ashina's scroll, first reading. Congratulations on graduating from the academy. You have taken the first step towards becoming a splendid shinobi. As such, you should start thinking about dressing more like an Uzumaki. The Uzumaki clan wore mostly black clothing with large battle pouches to put scrolls, sealing items, or other items in. Now this is important. If you look at standard Konoha shinobi attire, especially the back of Konoha flak jackets, you will notice a spiral on the back of it. That spiral is the Uzumaki clan crest. You should always display it on your clothing. Konoha's Shinobi Market District. Naruto headed into the Shinobi Market District to get a new outfit tailored and a sword strap to look the part of an Uzumaki shinobi. He strolled through the Shinobi Market District, entering Higarashi's weapons, and the bell rang. A man behind the counter who looked to be around 40 years old said, "Good day, my name is Higurashi Rei. How may I help you, young man?" Naruto straightened up, tapping his chest with his thumb. Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto, I'm mainly looking to have an outfit tailored and get a sword strap and supply of custom kunais and A-rank mission package. Rei smiled. Well, Naruto-sama, I am honored to serve one of the Uzumaki clan again, so what can I do for you today? Naruto incredulously stared at him. You can just call me Naruto, but again? Rei nodded. Yes, I was an Uzushio refugee a long time ago. Naruto stared wide-eyed and stuttered. Why you're from Uzushio? Rei smiled even wider. Yes, I was the village's foremost blacksmith. Well, look around for what you would like and bring them up, then we'll go from there. Naruto looked around, seeing several racks of clothing, standard weapons and magnificent crated swords displayed, thinking now to have the outfit I henge for my registration photo tailored and make my clan proud. A few hours later, Naruto came from the dressing room standing at 153 centimeters, 5 feet. He had a black hataite on his forehead and black face mask. He wore a long-sleeved double-layered red-trimmed mesh armor under an open double-layered mesh armor black track jacket with red collar and wrists. Obito's jacket went on Team Minato, embroidered with a large Uzumaki crest on the back. He also wore black fingerless shinobi gloves with Uzumaki crest engraved metal plates, black shinobi pants secured by white bandages on his shins, and black shinobi sandals. He looked in the mirror dressed in his new attire and thought, I look so fucking awesome. I can't wait to seize everyone's face. The Rei then started tallying Naruto's purchase. Okay, let's see what we got here. Double layer mesh armor, 350 rios. Custom track jacket, 1050 rios. Pair of engraved metal plated fingerless shinobi gloves, 200 rios. Pair of shinobi pants, 850 rios. Pair of shinobi sandals, 800 rios. And red sword strap, 250 rios. You also wanted custom kunais, right? Naruto nodded. Alright, do you an idea of what you want? Naruto thought for a second. I want 100 chakra conducting kunais with 50 designed like the Yondame's special kunai. Rei brow rose. Yes, well, that'll be 200,000 rios. Naruto nodded in agreement, and Rei continued. The A-ranked mission package will be 5,000 rios, and as this is your first time and I believe you'll become a frequent customer of mine, I'll throw in deluxe camping equipment scroll for free. Naruto stood mouth agape, unable to believe he was getting such a great deal on his supplies. Arigato, Rei-san. I can't believe you would do all that for me. Definitely Higurashi's weapon is the only supply shop for me. Naruto stated with a wide smile. Well, I kind of need to head out and get some lunch, so what do I owe you? Rei then calculated his merchandise. That'll be a total of 208,500 rios, but with the 10% Uzumaki discount you owe 187,650 rios. Rei chuckled as Naruto stood mouth agape. Rei-san, I don't know how to thank you for all you've done for me today. Rei up his hand up. You can just call me Rei. As I said, it is my honor and pleasure to serve the Uzumaki clan again. Naruto smiled brightly, saying, Arigato, Rei. I want to extend to you an offer to move on to the Uzumaki compound, as I can make accommodations for you. Roy stood in a thinking pose for a while, then finally stated, I graciously accept, and shall hire a team of genin to move my things this weekend. Naruto created a few kage bunshins. No need, Roy, I will have my kage bunshins help pack and set up an apartment for you. Also, the last thing I need is this. Naruto pulled out a scroll consisting of a large order for crates of chakra blades, kunais, senbons, shurikens, swords and tantos, boxes of blood increasing and military rations pills, flash and smoke bombs. Military rations pills and a diagram for an all-white and all-black shinobi uniform with matching oni-shaped porcelain mask. Roy stood shocked by the request list. Are you going to war? Naruto shook his head. I need to fully restock my clan's armory. Roy nodded. I'll charge your purchase and this order to the Uzumaki account. I'll deliver the supplies to armory myself once they arrive, but please stop by whenever you want. Naruto nodded, smiling arigato Rei-san, as he headed back to the dressing room. He changed back into his orange monstrosity, wanting to save his new attire for the genin selection exam, sealing his hitait and merchandise and a scroll waving over his shoulder as he exited the shop. Naruto was walking down the road after browsing a jewelry shop with his hands behind his head, headed toward Ramen Ichiraku with a frown on his face. He thought about how the Sandaime had been keeping secrets from him and the lies whenever he questioned his mistreatment by the villagers or information on his parents, and he still did not know his father. In addition to the information from Karasu about Danzo, and the Akatsuki's plan to capture him and his fellow Jinchurikis. Then there is the Akatsuki hidden leader Tobi, an orange swirl mask wearing Uchiha that is impersonating Uchiha Madara, and his involvement in the Kyuubi attack and the Uchiha massacre. Squad 9 came across him as they returned to Konoha. Mato Guy, seeing his frown, said, Team, wait here. He moved over to Naruto, shouting hello youthful one as he tried to get Naruto's attention by touching him on the shoulder. Naruto, caught up in his thoughts, did not hear Guy, but he stopped and blinked when he felt Guy's hand. Naruto looked up, blinked, screaming as he took off running. Ah, giant-faced eating caterpillars. Tenten covered her mouth to stop from laughing while Hyuga Niji lip twitched upwards while Rock Lee said that is quite unyouthful. Guy frowned, saying, Come squad, we must see what is bothering that youthful young man. As Naruto was running away, he looked back, seeing Guy chasing him, and thought, what the hell? I was minding my own business about to get some ramen. He noticed Ino in danger, widening his eyes, shouting, Ino, look out. Ino was planting some flowers in a flower planter box in front of her family's shop, suddenly hearing someone shout, Ino, look out, when suddenly an orange blur scooped her up bridal style, shielding her while pushing off the building. She screamed in shock, not realizing what was happening as she snuggled into her savior's embrace, briefly enjoying their warmth. When they finally put her down, she looked up, seeing Naruto smiling with his eyes closed and blood running down his face before collapsing face down in the street. Her eyes widened, screaming, Daddy. Watching Naruto with blood coming out of his head from where the window box from one of the higher windows hit him. As Inoichi came out of the building, his eyes widened, quickly moving to Naruto's body, saying, What happened to Naruto, Ino? Ino was shocked, speechless, trembling, unable to speak after seeing Naruto hurt from saving her. This was the sight Guy's squad came across as they arrived. Guy quickly moved beside Inoichi, saying, How is he, Inoichi? Inoichi said, unsure, he's got a head injury. We need to get him to the hospital. Elsewhere in the elemental nations, Jiraiya was pursuing leads on Orochimaru and Akatsuki. While traveling at sea, the vessel he paid passage on was hit a brutal storm, landing on a mysterious island that seems to consist of summoning animals. Jiraiya investigated the island, eventually hearing screams and shouts. He found scientists along with a redhead named Anoka trying to seal a giant beast. Jiraiya immediately performed the Kuchios, food cart destroyer, finally allowing Anoka to complete the sealing ritual successfully. Jiraiya, as the Gamma Sennin, was infuriated that they would create such a travesty in the summoning world through the summoning scroll into the volcano to destroying it. Jiraiya, upon finding out that Anoka was an Uzumaki, informed her of his godson's Uzumaki lineage in Konoha. She became delighted that there existed a fellow clansman, and they set sail for Yuzushio to discover if there were any hidden treasures of the clan. While they were traversing Yuzu no Kuni through the lush forest towards Yuzushio, they felt someone was observing them. Suddenly a thick mist began to surround them, and a feminine voice stated she never imagined that the great Jiraiya of the legendary Sannin would be in the homeland of the Uzumaki. Jiraiya immediately informed the voice that they were just investigating if there were any Uzumaki clan treasures to procure for his godson. The voice threatened that they would perish for attempting to ransack her home. Jiraiya pointed out that Anoka was an Uzumaki traveling along with him. When the mist cleared, Ringo Amuri of the Seven Swordsmen of the Mist was standing before them with a shark-teeth grin. Jiraiya asked what she was doing in Yuzushio when the world thought she had died of an incurable disease. She informed them that she had come here to die but came across Tsunade of the legendary Sannin that helped find a cure. She had decided to wait until the civil war in Kiri was over while her body recovered. Jiraiya asked if she was willing to go to Konoha with Anoka to join his godson in restoring the Uzumaki clan. Amuri agreed, wanting the world to fear her name again. Once back on the mainland, Jiraiya informed them that he sent word to the Sandaime about their arrival. He was heading to Oni no Kuni to help the head priestess as he had gotten word of trouble in the country, and wanted to assist the priestess. He rushed towards Oni no Kuni. He suspected that she might also be an Uzumaki after remembering that Kushina once mentioned to him that the Uzumaki clan had special priestesses that would fulfill requests for the sealing of demons and perform special rituals. Once he made it to Oni no Kuni, the priestess informed him that a man named Yomi wanted to rule the world utilizing Morio powers. Eventually Morio's soul possessed Yomi, coming to absorb Cheyenne, Miroka's daughter. Yomi's eventually released Morio's body, and Jiraiya pulled Cheyenne from within his depths of his darkness. He used Senpo, Cho Odama along with the help of the bell Miroka gave to Cheyenne, defeating Morio, awakening a sleeping volcano. Avoiding a worldwide catastrophe with the demon gone, Jiraiya informed her of what he knew of Uzumaki priestesses. She thought deeply for a moment but agreed. He was unaware that she had a premonition the night before of Jiraiya, Sharingan no Kakashi, and a young raven-haired teenager all standing behind a masked young teenager. He was a redhead with 2 locks wrapped in blue silk framing his face, sapphire stud earrings, and the most beautiful cerulean eyes standing beside her in a tuxedo. A young and beautiful black-haired and blonde-haired teenage girl stood behind her, while Tsunade of the legendary Sannin and several ladies, a few being redheads, offset to her left in beautiful extravagant bridesmaids' dresses in an Uzumaki ritualistic wedding performed by her daughter. The young red-headed teenager in her vision intrigued her, wondered if he could bring some happiness to my life since my beloved passed away. On the way to Konoha, they stopped at a little village to rest for the night but found that there was a little girl named Amaru extremely sick with a disease that had been killing the villagers. Jiraiya sent message to the Hokage requesting for one of the best medic nin teams come assist the village, which was located several miles outside of Konoha, but in the meantime, he sent for some special toad medicine. The girl eventually healed, and Jiraiya wondered if she might be of Uzumaki descent since she was an orphan with auburn hair whose parents died mysteriously. After some questioning, Amaru decided to go to Konoha since she wanted to be a medic, and Jiraiya suggested she join Konoha's medic nin corps. He sent another message to the Sandaime that the head priestess, her daughter, a young girl, and him would arrive in Konoha tomorrow before he continued gathering information on Orochimaru and the Akatsuki. Chapter 1 Personal Training. Later at Konoha Hospital. When Naruto woke, he blinked as he found himself in front of a large golden cage that seemed to span endlessly in every direction with a sealing paper that read seal over the gates. The Kyuubi growled, "Well, look who finally decided come back to visit." Naruto looked at the fearsome Kyuubi no Yoko. "Well, last we talked wasn't the best of conversations since you only threatened me mindlessly. And no, I'm not calling you a mindless beast." The Kyuubi growled lightly, "Seem you learned a great lot from Ashina." Naruto nodded. "Yes, I'm eternally grateful for his teachings and advice. I will miss them dearly." The Kyuubi lowered himself, laying his head on his paws. "So he has finally passed away. He must have had a great amount trust and belief in you." Naruto smiled with determined gaze. "Yes, and I won't let him down. I'll do best to accomplish my dreams and restore my clan." The Kyuubi slightly nodded its head. "So why have you come back?" Naruto smirked. "Well, for one, I might have a way to retrieve your other half, but it will take some time." The Kyuubi brow rose. "If even possible, really, you have a way to make me whole again?" Naruto shook his head. "I have a jutsu that might help, but I still need to study it over and become strong enough to use it." The Kyuubi nodded. "You just might be my most interesting host yet, but don't think we are friends because I have a slight interest in what you might achieve." Naruto smiled. "Ashina-sama said that Mito-sama told him once the best way to defeat your hate is to fill my heart with love. I plan on taking all your hate and getting rid of it." The Kyuubi laughed vindicatively. "You think you can ever change me? Think again, runt." Naruto I smiled, giving the Kyuubi a thumbs up. "It's a promise, Kyuubi, and I always keep my promises, so until next time." The Kyuubi shook its head in annoyance. "Get out of here, runt. It seems one of your classmates is coming." As Naruto disappeared from his mindscape, the Kyuubi thought, "Uzumaki Naruto, show the world and me what you can do, and I might just come to respect you." Naruto opened his eyes in a hospital bed, frowning. "What happened? Oh yeah. I shielded Ino and got hit in the head." He saw a glass vase with white Asiatic lilies, yellow roses, blue delphinium, and purple Monte Cassino and fruit basket beside his bed and smiled slightly. The door to the room opened and a platinum blonde-haired girl looked in. "Naruto, are you awake?" Naruto smiled. "Yeah, Ino, I just woke up. How are you feeling? You didn't get hurt, did you?" She shook her head and he smiled. "I'm glad you're okay. I was running from some Jonin with huge bushy brows when I noticed you were in danger, so I reacted as quickly as possible." Ino blushed slightly, bowing. "Arigato, Naruto. If you hadn't grabbed me, who knows how hurt I could have gotten." She approached his bed to give him some purple lilacs with lavender stalks in a slim purple vase, suddenly stopping, seeing the glass vase of flowers. "Wow, someone must really care about you to bring a bright blue skies bouquet and fruit basket." Naruto brow rose. "Honestly, I just woke, so I didn't even notice them, but would have thought you brought them." She shook her head, turning to him, staring wide-eyed while reaching a hand towards his cheek, rubbing it slightly and screaming kawaii as he purred into her hand. Naruto's eyes shoot wide, immediately realizing his mask was missing, searching desperately for his face mask, finding it beside the fruit basket, putting it on. Is something wrong, Ino? Shikamaru asked, confused at the open door as some other classmates walked in. Naruto winked at Ino, still staring him, putting a finger to his lips. Ino slightly stuttered, and no, nothing's wrong, I thought I saw a spider. Naruto looked as everyone gathered around his bed. The guys all had a surprised look while the females all had the same expression as Ino before, except she was now blushing, still imagining the scene from before. Naruto, confused, looked to Shikamaru asking, "What the hell is going on, Shika?" Shikamaru responded, "Troublesome, you got your ears pierced?" Naruto, remembering he gotten a pair of sapphire stud earrings highlighting his bright cerulean eyes, which were now mesmerizing the girls. He had gotten them early after getting his new outfit. "Oh, I had it done earlier today and thought these looked awesome." Naruto then jumped out of bed to look for his clothes, noticing the guys averting their eyes while Ino, Sakura, and Tenten, who had just walked in with Lee, had pink-tinted cheeks. He sighed. "What now?" Lee uncomfortably pointed out, "Your gown is open, showing your frog boxers." Naruto explained irritably as he urgently searched for his clothes vainly. "They're toads and I fucking hate hospitals." Then he noticed his black shinobi sandals with some clothes and a note, "Your clothes, or orange monstrosity, as the nurses called it, were bloodstained, so they threw them away. I brought you these, I hope they fit well." A friend there was a tight red short-sleeved shinobi shirt with an uzumaki crest embroidered on the back and tan pants. Naruto thought maybe the same person that brought me the flowers and fruit basket got me these clothes, but I wonder who. After getting dressed, he walked out the bathroom asking, "So everyone came to visit me?" He received a series of nods while Shikamaru answered, "Ino wouldn't shut up about how you heroically saved her while sacrificing yourself." Ino angrily spat, "What was that, Shikamaru?" Shikamaru just shook his head from his spot against the wall, mumbling, "Troublesome blondes." Naruto nodded, leaning towards Ino's ear, whispering, "You're one of few people to see my face since I was 6, so let's keep it our little secret." Ino blushed deep in nodding, "Well, I'm all better now, so I'll see you guys around, ja-ni," as he grabbed his gifts and get well cards waving over his shoulder before jumping out the window. Uzumaki Compound. Naruto discovered a special Uzumaki hyperbolic training chamber, or UHTC, a portal similar to the one he met Ashina inside the clan's dojo. He was sitting inside another dojo room on a cushion with a special training scroll that Ashina created and copied, Tajukage Bunshin scroll. Naruto, reading, smiled softly and thought, "I'll restore my clan and make the Uzumaki name respected and feared again," as he opened the Tajukage Bunshin scroll. Tajukage Bunshin is a B-rank kinjutsu of Kage Bunshin created by Naidame Tobarama Senju. It distributes the user's chakra among every Kage Bunshin evenly. A unique characteristic is that any experience the Kage Bunshin gains during its existence transfers to the user once it disperses, making the technique ideal for reconnaissance and spying. The seal for Tajukage Bunshin is the same special Bunshin seal of Kage Bunshin with index and middle fingers of both hands crossed. Unlike the Kage Bunshin, it doesn't focus on a specific number of Kage Bunshins. Naruto smiled and thought, "So if I focus on a specific number of Kage Bunshin, I'll only create what's necessary. I'll be top of my year in no time. I guess I can begin to train. If I can gain the experiences of my Kage Bunshins, that'll help in learning information quicker, since a Kage Bunshin transfer all gain knowledge and memories when they disperse to the user. I can create a special training method to produce faster results. I'll have a Kage Bunshin disperse every 30 minutes, providing me and the other Kage Bunshins its knowledge so we don't make the same mistakes, allowing me to learn quicker and become accustomed to the information influx. It won't make me physically stronger, but that's why I'll work on training my body while my Kage Bunshins work on training my mind and chakra." He then opened the training scroll. First task is you'll always wear the restriction seal, staying at level 1 that restricts half your abilities, but all physical, taijutsu, kenjutsu training rise to level 2, which will leave you with civilian chakra level. The purpose for this is to strengthen your body at your weakest, becoming physically stronger without chakra. At the bottom of this scroll are 4 seals with the kanji for 1, 2, 3, and 4 above them. 1 is a physical, reflex, and chakra control training regime to help you improve your body. 2 is kenjutsu training, and 3 are 2 sets of books to help you improve your mind. 4 is the next scroll in the series, but only opened when you completed everything in the first 3 seals, because the next series builds on knowledge gained from the current task. He unsealed the 3 scrolls and opened the physical training scroll, reading it. Every morning you will have to complete all physical and reflex exercises as well as yoga, stretches and meditation to prepare your body physically and mentally. There's a pair of 5-pound weighted gloves that have seals on them to teach the proper hand seals. You are to make the 12 hand seals in the following order: Torai bird, I boar, Inu dog, Tatsu dragon, Ushi ox, Tora tiger, Mi snake, Na rat, Uma horse, Saru monkey, You hair. Hitsuji Ram. If you mess up, then your hands will get a small shock and will be numb for a minute. When you do all 12 hand signs 20 times in a row in 4 minutes, then you pass this level. The physical training requires you wear a 100 pounds weighted bodysuit that at 50 pounds every time you complete 10 4,000 square km laps in less than 20 minutes. I figured you weigh 100 pounds right now, so once you completed the training it will be triple your body weight. It changes from all black trimmings, black with white trimming, black with green trimming, black with blue trimming, and finally black with red trimming. Then complete these exercises in 4 minutes: 500 handstand push-ups, 500 sit-ups hanging upside down while holding 100 pounds, training ball, 500 pull-ups with 100 pounds, ankle weights, 500 squats while holding 100 pounds, training ball above your head. There is a metal rod to hold a punching bag and a seal at the bottom of this scroll. What you will do is hang the punching bag up and send chakra into the seal on it until it glows blue. Once you do that, then you start doing punching combinations of right then left. If you can punch the punching bag 500 times total in 4 minutes, then the bag will get heavier and go from weighing 100 pounds to gaining another 50 pounds each time. After 5 minutes, you will have to send chakra into the seal again and start kicking in an attempt to get your kicking strength up. Reflex speed is a vital part of a shinobi's life. Reflexes will save you almost as much as physical strength and chakra. Even the slightest improvements in your reflexes can have astonishing results in your fight. There are 3 phases of speed. Reaction time is the perception of an attack, or rather the interval between stimulus and the beginning of response. Response time is the time it takes to choose an appropriate response to the initiation of the actual movement. Movement speed is simply how fast your body moves getting out of the way of trouble, etc. These 2 exercises should greatly improve your reaction and response time. The first, I've included 300 color-coded rubber balls. They are all black, but when you charge chakra, they will turn red for catching, blue for dodging, or green for striking, forcing you to recognize as you react. You will close your eyes charging chakra into the ball, then throwing them at a wall, opening your eyes at the sound of it hitting the wall to respond accordingly. You can increase difficulty by increasing your velocity, standing closer to the wall, switching catch/throw hands, and starting to face away from wall, throwing ball over your shoulder, turning around while progressing closer to the wall. The second exercise is mostly a coordination builder but is fun, so I chose to include it. It will improve your timing, accuracy, and responsiveness quickly without seeming tedious at all. While standing in a room with numerous makibishi covering the floor, kick a small balloon around with the purpose to not letting it touch the floor or else you lose. The principle is to last longer each time. You can increase difficulty by including natural objects like chairs, stools, tables of various sizes and shapes. Chakra control consists of 3 stages. The leaf concentration exercise requires you stick a leaf on your forehead. Too much chakra and it will blow off, not enough it will either fall off. Once you can do it on your forehead, you will then begin to work on your fingertips of both hands. When you can stick a leaf to your forehead and fingertips on both hands, you pass. The tree climbing exercise requires you to walk up a tree with only the soles of your feet. You should start with running first to get a momentum. If you use too much chakra, you will blast off and will slip off if too little. Once you can walk up and down for an hour, then add leaves to your forehead and fingertips on both hands. When can walk up and down with leaves on forehead and fingertips on both hands for an hour, you pass. The water walking exercise requires you stand on top of a water surface. If you use too much chakra, you will blast off and you will sink using too little. Once you can walk on water for an hour, then add leaves to your forehead and fingertips on both hands. When you can walk with leaves on forehead and fingertips on both hands while going through your taijutsu katas for an hour, you pass. You can never become too good for chakra control practice. The more chakra you have, the longer you need to practice. When you are able to complete all chakra control exercises, all physical exercises and required time limit, and reflex training, then you will be ready for the next training tier. Naruto thought cool as he unsealed the next scroll. You might also look into getting a close-range weapon. I've provided 2 specially crafted swords and sword care kit. One is an Iedo with red cloth wrapped in traditional diamond-patterned tsuka handle, with an uzumaki crest engraved black scabbard. The other is a Ninjato Chikudo weighted approximately 0.98 kg with 70 cm long high carbon chakra steel folded 10 times for superior strength and flexibility that comes with a full-length tang which greatly enhances the strength of the sword. This sword is strong enough to cut through a thick bamboo tree with a single strike, yet sharp enough to slice paper. The tsuba guard is a high-quality alloy uzumaki crest design secured by 2 seppas spacer. The habaki blade collar is a one-piece brass construction. The tsuka core is wooden with a red silk ito and traditional diamond pattern tightly wrapped over genuine ray-skinned samigawa. 2 uzumaki crest manuki ornament are on each side of the blade. The saya sheath of the sword is hard wooden with an uzumaki crest engraved on black high glossy finish. A red cord Seijo ties around the bright white gold kurigata, knob, of the scabbard. In addition to your regime is 500 sword swings each hand with the Eito provided against the punching bag when the bag weighs 250 pounds. You pass. This will help you adjust to the weights better and increase your taijutsu and kenjutsu speed and power. He unsealed the next scroll and scanned the titles. Now, as you know, there's no such thing as useless knowledge. You never know when you could save the life of a friend or family by knowing the human body or facing an enemy who uses water jutsu, what element you can use to stop them. You never know when the seal at the bottom of a scroll could be a trap and instead of a storage seal, it is an exploding tag. You would never know if you can eat the plant you found in the forest or use it as a poison or medicine. The books below will help you learn. I have included books that are important to be knowledgeable in first. These will greatly help you on your road to being a great clan head and Hokage someday. I've included chakra paper to test for your affinity, as you will start learning about nature manipulation. All you need to do is send chakra into the paper and the results will either be split in two for wind, ignite and turn to ash for fire, become wet/damp for water, turn to dirt and crumble for earth, or wrinkle for lightning. Naruto held the paper between his index and middle and sent some chakra to it. Surprisingly, it split in two. Naruto cheered, "Yada, I got wind as my affinity, but I should try to learn the other affinities too so I can use them." Uzumaki clan laws. Konoha laws. Politics. Business and economics. Once you are familiar in the first set of books, then you can move on to the second set, which consists of shinobi rules and etiquettes, taijutsu yuzuken, the swirling fist, kenjutsu, iajutsu, art of mental presence and immediate reaction, and 12 cdi aido katas. Kenjutsu, kendo shikekwaza, strike, and ajiwaza, counter-strike katas. Naitojutsu, go-rin no sho, the Book of Five Rings. Sword Care Handbook. Chakra Nature Manipulation. Stealth and Infiltration. Sabota. Tracking and Sensory. Intelligence and Counterintelligence, Espionage and Interrogation. How to play shogi and strategy. Plants, herbal medicine and poisons. Basic first aid. Anatomy. 8 points, silent kill and assassinations. Shinobi Field Survival Guide. Naruto frowned and thought, alright, that's a lot of books, but using that special training method will help. I'll create a Kage Bunshin to read the first page, then have it create a Kage Bunshin that will read back the page from memory. If it misses one word, then the original Kage Bunshin must start over and read the page again before creating another Kage Bunshin again, who will read what it remembers. If it remembers every word on that page, then they'll fold the corner of that page slightly to mark it as memorized. The Kage Bunshin will move to the next page, repeating the process until it runs out of chakra for the day. The next day I'll create a Kage Bunshin starting from page 1, create another Kage Bunshin to read back what it remembered from the day before until it messes up or reach where the last page marking, starting the process over again from that page. I might as well get started. I only have about a month until team assignments to complete my task list. Naruto shouted Taja Kage Bunshin and 150 Kage Bunshins appeared. That night Naruto limped into his bed thinking this training is sadistic. A week later. Naruto yelled, "Yes, I did it." As the hour timer rang, signaling he passed the water walking exercise. Naruto finally passed the first tier's training requirements, thinking, I feel stronger than ever and my chakra feels easier to control. Naruto then pulled out the second tier's training scroll, reading, "Congratulations, you have completed the first tier of training, reaching around high genin level. Now on to the next tier of lessons. Included in this scroll are several jutsu scrolls for you to read. You need to master all the basic academy techniques, performing them smokeless and sealless instantaneously. You need to also work on your shuriken jutsu, throwing shurikens, kunais and senbons. I advise using summoning, lightning flash blade creation. I have provided an illustration of the seal below. It provides quick and emergency access to weapons. I've included instructions and tips for improving your accuracy, distance, speed and power. The physical training requires running 10 4,000 km laps in less than 10 minutes, wearing the Uzumaki training seal, resistance and gravity hybrid seal. It multiplies the force of gravity, adding 5 miles per hour wind resistance consisting of 20 levels. I provided an illustration below. Complete double your repetitions from the previous level of one-handed handstand push-ups, sit-ups hanging upside down holding a 200 pounds, training ball, pull-ups with 200 pounds, ankle weights, and squats while holding a 200 pounds, training ball in 4 minutes each. Complete double your repetitions from the previous level of the punching, kicking and sword swings exercises. Once you can complete all physical exercises with required time limit, you've passed. The next stage of chakra control is an advanced form of leaf concentration, which requires you to balance heavier objects on your fingertips the same way you did a leaf. You can start a small pebble moving up to a kunai. Once you can balance a kunai on all fingertips, you've passed. Naruto realized there was not an advanced reflex exercise, thinking the first exercise I can use the color-coded rubber balls from the last reflex training, then create 100 Kage Bunshins that get 3 balls. They can circle around me, channeling chakra into the balls, throwing them with the same principle in the previous exercise. After the Kage Bunshins run out of balls, they will keep resetting around me until I have responded correctly to all balls. When I can respond accurately to all 300 balls, then I've passed, smiling in satisfaction of the exercise he created. Here's a few very useful supplementary jutsu that I believe will greatly enhance your abilities. Shunshin, D rank, hand seal, ram. Hidden mist technique, D rank, hand seal, tiger. Temporary paralysis, D rank. Naruto suddenly remembered the seal on the scroll that he got from Itachi after graduating from the academy, pulling the scroll out his pouch and unsealed another scroll. Soon you'll be assigned to your genin squad, so I've included 3 scrolls. A personal A-rank jutsu I created as gifts for finally graduation the academy, and 2 Uchiha Katan jutsus. You can just create some Kage Bunshins to assist on mastering them. You will need to learn your affinity before attempting the Katan jutsus, but you can always learn Katan nature manipulation. I wish you the best of luck. Bunshin Daibakuha, Clone Explosion A-rank. Katan, Great Fireball Technique C-rank, hand seals, boar, horse, and tiger. Katan, Phoenix Sage Fire Technique C-rank, hand seals, rat, tiger, dog, ox, rabbit, and tiger. Naruto thought, well, I'll let my Kage Bunshins work on mastering my ninjutsu repertoire for the rest of the day while I scrounged the library for more jutsus to supplement my repertoire, as he created 150 Kage Bunshins to master his current repertoire. He hinged into a nondescriptive chunin he had seen walking the village and headed towards the library. Konoha Library. Naruto searched for several jutsus ranging from D to C rank, especially Doton and Suiton for his newly acquired affinities through elemental manipulation exercises, having already mastered Futon and Katan and beginning to work on Raiden. Naruto had to stop himself from laughing hysterically, thinking I'm probably the only genin to master 4 elements, and on my way to completing the last. Thank Kami for the UHCC. After grabbing the last scroll, he scanned his choices once more. Doton, Double Suicide Decapitation Technique, D rank. Doton, Hiding Like a Mole Technique, C rank. Futon, Air Bullets Sad Face Hand Seal, Bird. Futon, Gale Palm, C rank, Hands Clap Together. Futon, Great Breakthrough, C rank, Hand Seals, Tiger, Ox, Dog, Rabbit, and Snake. Suiton, Mizurappa, Wild Water Wave C rank, Hand Seals, Dragon, Tiger, and Hare. Suiton, Waterfall Basin Technique, C rank, Hand Seals, Boar, Dog, and Ram. Suiton, Water Bullet, Hand Seal, Tiger, Ox, Tiger, and Rat. Suiton, Water Prison Technique, C rank, Hand Seals, Snake, Ram, Horse, Hare, Ram, Horse, and Hare, then hands spread in front, palms out. Suiton, Water Whip, Hand Seals, Rat, Dog, and Ox. Satisfied with them, he slipped into an alley, discreetly releasing the henge and headed towards the clan compound. Friday before team assignments. Naruto then unsealed the next scroll, reading. Congratulations, you finally completed the scroll I developed for you, so I'm confident that you'll be able to handle a Chunin level opponent, stall for help, or at least escape. I advise continue using the restriction seal at level 1 at all times to downplay your abilities, especially until the Chunin selection exam and beyond, unless in extreme danger, but be swift in your battles as your opponents will not hesitate to eliminate you. As always, level 2 for all physical, taijutsu, and kenjutsu training. Also continue using the uzumaki training seal to train, but remember to release the seal before missions and after every level for a week to adjust to the strength and speed increases. Keep up your physical regime, increasing the difficulty and repetitions, and perform cliff climbing to improve your strength until you can do it one-handed, alternating hands. You should do waterfall meditation to help improve your concentration, pain tolerance, and composure while under distress. The final chakra control exercise: channel your master nature transformation into a leaf as quickly possible. You can also combine the other chakra control exercises to train. Naruto remembered there was not any more reflex training exercise, thinking I'll start creating Kage Bunshins for sparring, releasing my seals first, then reapply the Uzumaki training seal, allowing me to be slower. I'll engage in taijutsu only while targeting pressure points. I need to either dodge or block each of their attacks, but if they hit me and I don't block or dodge, then it counts against me. Grazing hits count as a hit also, so I need to be sure I make a clean block or dodge. Then I'll use my Kage Bunshins for kenjutsu while targeting the 8 points that I learned about in that book that causes instant death while they target my 8 points, but if they hit me then that's a kill and I have to start over. I'll start with 5 of them, and once I beat 5 without receiving a hit, then I'll move up to 10, 15, 20, and finally 25 Kage Bunshins. Once I can beat 25 Kage Bunshins with taijutsu and kenjutsu, then they can begin using all of the shinobi arts, while I use only taijutsu then kenjutsu. Once I can defeat 25 Kage Bunshins using all the shinobi arts while using only taijutsu and kenjutsu, I pass satisfied knowing he would greatly benefit from learning to use his Kage Bunshins better defensively as well as offensively. Naruto was sulking again over everything he learned since graduating the academy now that he had to focus on other things than training. How the Sandaime, once a grandfather figure, was the Hokage keeping secrets from him. Although he clarified Mizuki's statement about how he was the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi and his maternal heritage, he wondered what other secrets he might be holding. Ugh, I need to get away to clear my head. I'll sneak out the village tonight. Next morning in Shakuba town, Naruto saw village gates. After entering the village, Naruto's stomach growled. Let's see if I can find something to eat. Naruto spotted a little diner and entered, sitting down at a table when a slender yet shapely fair-skinned brown-eyed woman around 161 centimeters, 5 feet 3 inches, approached. She had waist-length purple hair with shorter bangs and a heim-style partially held by a white ribbon, wearing a traditional white and purple Miko outfit with a sash-like belt and wooden sandals. Came over saying, "Hello, my name is Asama Miya and this is my diner. Are you waiting on someone?" Naruto said, "Well, no, but I'm Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. I just came to town to do some shopping and thought I would get some breakfast." Miya smiled. "Well, you came to the right place, Naruto-kun. Our specials are pancakes and eggs for 150 ryos, or our sampler platter with bacon, sausage, an egg, piece of toast, and a bowl of rice for 550 ryos. Naruto awkwardly said, "I'll try the sampler with a glass of orange juice, Miya-san." Miya teasingly slapped his shoulder, giggling, "You don't need to be so formal, Naruto-kun. I'll go make your order personally." As Naruto nodded, a female voice said, "Make that too, please, separate tickets though." Naruto immediately turned to his right, seeing a girl in a Chinese-style shirt, brown pants with brown hair and a pair of buns on her head similar to a panda. The girl said, "I'm surprised to see you here, Naruto." Naruto, confused, asked, "Do I know you?" The girl sat down across from him, saying, "No, I guess not. My sensei was the eyebrow monster that scared you before you got hurt. How you are?" Naruto brow rose. "Fine, I guess. How you know my name?" The girl said, "I heard the two Yamanakas call you Naruto after you saved the girl. I was surprised to see you up shortly afterwards." Naruto smirked underneath his mask. "What can I say? I heal fast." The girl frowned. "I know I actually visited you in the hospital, but I guess you don't remember me." Naruto plainly said, "I guess not. I hardly know you." The girl glaringly pointed out, "You don't have to be a jerk about it." Naruto gawkily asked, "Am I?" The girl angrily said, "Yes, as soon as you saw me you lost your cheerfulness, and started acting aloof like I'm the last person you want to talk to." Naruto frowned, saying, "Well, you never introduce yourself. What are you doing here?" The girl shockingly said, "Sorry, I'm Tenten and my squad and I are on a mission. We decided to stop here for the night before investigating the area for reported bandits. I was just getting some breakfast before we left when I saw you and decided to see how you were, but my mistake." She stood to leave as if offended, but Naruto sighed, grabbing her wrist apologetically, saying, "I'm sorry, it's not you. I just got some personal issues I'm dealing with right now." Tenten gaze locked with his, seeing the deep-rooted hurt, saying, "Want to talk about it?" Just then, Miya returned with the food, and set them down, turning to Naruto gleefully, saying, "I hope you enjoy, Naruto-kun. I made it especially for you." Tenten brow rose while Naruto smiled cheerfully behind his mask. "Arigato, Miya-chan." Miya rushed to the back, blushing blissfully, returning to managing the diner. Tenten looked at the scene and felt just a little jealous. "Naruto, do you always come here?" Naruto shook his head. "This is my first time here." Tenten looked over to the kitchen, seeing Miya blissfully watching Naruto eat the breakfast that she personally made for him, with heart in her eyes, saying, "Well then, Naruto, I think you have an admirer." He followed her line of sight towards the kitchen, seeing Miya shyly avert her eyes. When she looked back, he waved and mouthed arigato for the wonderful breakfast, making her as red as his hair. When Tenten looked forward, Naruto was already pulling his mask back up, finished with his food. He ate so fast I didn't even see his face, but by the look on Miya's face, he must be really cute. Afterwards, Naruto thought for a moment, saying, "Tenten, what would you do if you found out that the people you thought you could trust have been keeping secrets and lying to you?" Tenten said, "Well, I guess I would find out the truth and then find out why they lied and decide what to do then. You could also find someone you could trust and ignore the ones who lied to you." Naruto thought for a moment, then said, "Arigato, I guess I was being a lot like Sasuke team and sulking." Tenten giggled, saying in a teasing tone, "You're welcome, but you owe me a spar for being such an ass to me before." Naruto nodded. "Yes, sure, as soon as you have some free time, come find me." He put some money on the table, leaning and whispering huskily, "You wouldn't be trying to get me all wet and half naked, would you, because we don't have to spar for that?" He left, smiling mischievously while waving over his shoulder, leaving a stunned, blushing Tenten ja-ni. He walked further into town and found a clothing store. As he walked in, an extremely curvaceous brown-eyed young teenager in her late teens with violet hair tied up about 170 centimeters, 5 feet 7 inches, tall, was standing behind the counter saying, "Ah, welcome to Yuzum Clothing. How can I help you?" Naruto gazed at her blushing, stammering, I am looking for some clothes. You wouldn't happen to make formal clan clothing that could be fought in, would you? The young woman said, Yes we do. Are you a shinobi? Naruto said, Yes, I just graduated, but I also do a lot of activities and wear clothes out quickly. The young woman said, My name is Yuzum Kazuhana, and yours? Naruto smiled, rubbing the back of his head sheepishly. Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. It's nice to meet you. So do you think you could help me find some clothes? I've never had any formal wear since I've never needed it before. Kazuhana said, Well, you've come to the right place, though I think that most of our clothes will have to be customized for you since you want them as clan formal wear, right? Naruto chuckled, saying, Yeah, I just found out recently I belong to a clan. So will you be able to help me? Kazuhana said, Sure. How much clothing are you looking to get? Naruto said, An entire wardrobe. Kazuhana eyes widened, walking to the door, locking it, causing Naruto to raise a brow, and she said, Well, I want to show you that you made the right choice choosing my humble store for your service, so I will give you my full attention, Naruto-sama. Naruto said, Just Naruto, Kazuhana-san. I'm not much for formalities unless required. People think they are supposed to be respected when they themselves haven't done anything to deserve such respect. Kazuhana smirked teasingly, saying, Well, then you can just call me Kazuhana, Naruto-kun. Naruto blushed, saying with a kind smile, I am in your hands then, Kazuhana. Kazuhana said as they entered the back room, Then please follow me to the back when you say entire wardrobe. Naruto said, I meant I want new everything. I realize that I don't have much clothing besides shinobi attire, and I've decided it's time for a new start on life. So I figured the best place to start would be with my looks. Kazuhana said, Sure, then I guess the best place to start would be to take your measurements, and start with what's underneath first, so if you would walk into the middle and strip down to your undergarments, then I can take your measurements. Naruto was taking off his clothes, biting his lip. Can I be honest with you, Kazuhana-chan? Kazuhana, grabbing a tailor tape, blushing at his well-toned body, turned, saying sure. Naruto said, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I don't know anything about clothes and I don't know fashion either. I was just another poor orphan who lived off the small orphan allowance the village gave to those who were too old until a few months ago. All the clothes I have are what little I could actually get while paying for my rent, food, and supplies. I don't know really anything about clothes besides to get things that will last through a lot of wear and tear because I couldn't afford to buy a lot, but that changed recently. My clan, though now all but gone, was once a clan from another country. It's basically up to me to decide the fate and future of my clan. I want to make my ancestors proud if I can. All I want is for the clothes to look good to honor my clan's heritage. Black is my clan's primary color, but I will be incorporating red and aqua blue as well, so I trust your expertise to help me. Kazuhana, looking at Naruto, sigh. I see there's an old saying in the clothing business, the clothes make the man. What you wear shows others who you are. You're either a success or failure not only by the way you do things but also how you present yourself to others. If two people of equal skills wanted a job, the employer would choose the one who is dressed more in line for the job they are applying. Does that make sense to you? Naruto nodded, and she continued, Alright, then before we get started on getting you clothed, what does your clan stand for, or what do you want your clan to stand for? What strengths and skills do you want to represent for your clan and yourself? Does your clan have a symbol or affinity towards something? What does your clan do? Naruto thought a moment, saying, Well, my clan symbol is on my back, and they were very family-oriented, excelling in fuinjutsu, kenjutsu, as well as excellent sensors with an affinity towards water, being originally from Yuzu no Kuni. Kazuhana nods as she grabbed a pencil and a notebook, asking, So what are your plans for the future of your clan? What will your clan do? Naruto, who was standing in his pair of toed boxers, said, I don't know yet. He bit his lip, asking, What do other clans actually do? Damn it, I must sound like an idiot. He put his palm to his head and pinched the bridge of his nose. Kazuhana giggled, seeing this, saying, A little, but you have a reason for not knowing. Well, I guess I could tell you what I know hearing about clans from Konoha. The Aburame clan is a clan of bug users and renowned for the silk they produce. The Akimichi are among the best cooks in the world, while the Yamanaka raise and sell plants, herbs, and other plants that are used for poison or healing salves, and I believe I heard the Nara have ingredients for potions, but that's all I can think of, sorry. She looked sheepish and he said, No, that's alright. You've helped me more than you know, so each clan has a certain skill that they are known for outside of combat. As he looked down in thought, and she said, I guess I'm not that helpful. Naruto looked at her, saying, No, you've been really helpful. I guess there is a lot I don't know about a lot of things, but I have a few skills I could use as businesses ventures, and I could broker some deals. Kazuhana interrupted him, saying, Well, what do you do? I mean, how you plan to support yourself? I mean, you can't be a shinobi all your life, can you? Naruto said no, but being Hokage, the leader and strongest shinobi in Konoha, was a dream of mine. Now I just want to restore my clan to its previous prestige and become the world's greatest fuinjutsu, kenjutsu practitioner to ever live. Kazuhana said, Well, there's nothing wrong with that, you trust me, right? Naruto said, Sure, I told you I'm in your hands. Kazuhana smiled, saying, then I think I know what to do with you. Naruto said, well, I've got nothing better to do, so I'm all yours. Kazuhana said, well, in that case let me get to work, and why don't you tell me about yourself? Things you like, dislike, things you do for hobbies. Naruto asked, why? Kazuhana said, well, because this is going to take hours and you're going to get bored as hell waiting for me to get done, so I thought if you told me about yourself we could talk and get to know each other, and that will help pass time. Naruto said, well, alright, I guess. As he began to tell about himself, mostly the pranks and the few good memories. Several hours later, Naruto stood where he had been for hours and was in pieces of different cloths while Kazuhana had a needle and thread in her hand with the tailor's tape in her mouth. When Naruto's stomach growled, Kazuhana giggled, saying, sounds like the beast is hungry. Naruto's face went pale for a moment, thinking, no, she doesn't know, she's just joking about my stomach. Then he asked, are you hungry also? Kazuhana, looking up, said, yeah, a little, though I can't stop now. I'm whoa, how did you do that? As a Kage Bunshin suddenly appeared dressed in normal cloths, and Naruto said, it's a jutsu I learned. It's a solid Bunshin, just tell him what you want, and he'll go get you something, my treat. Kazuhana said, well, thank you, does it matter where at? Naruto said, no, but I'm not from here. I've only had breakfast at the little diner near the edge of town on the east side. Kazuhana said, Mia's Cafe, yeah, that's a good place, if you're sure you don't mind. Naruto gave her a look, and she giggled, saying, right, I'll take salmon nanbanzuk with white rice and sukmono with a glass of green tea. Naruto said, take some money and get something I would like. The Kage Bunshin nodded, grabbing Gamachan and Shunshin to Mia's Cafe. After the Kage Bunshin left, Kazuhana said, you have a lot to learn about women, Naruto-kun. Naruto said, really, like what? Kazuhana said, well, for starters, women can be just as mischievous and devious as you can be king of pranksters. Naruto said, oh, talking from experience, do tell. He smiled at her, and Kazuhana blushed and began to telling him a few stories. As the day moved on, both Kazuhana and Naruto both laughed and joked, getting to know each other as she made his clothes. As Kazuhana cut the last thread on a shirt, smiling sadly, there we go, all done finally. Naruto's smile faded a little, saying, arigato for everything you've done for me today, Kazuhana-chan. You don't know how much I will treasure this day. Kazuhana smiled, saying, well, first tell me what you think. She pointed toward the wall-sized mirror behind Naruto, who turned looking at himself in the mirror. Naruto saw himself standing in a red battle kimono with mesh armor underneath, black hakama, an aqua blue obi and Haori Haimo, black Haori with the Uzumaki clan crest on the back, white tabi socks and black Seta sandals. Naruto smiled, thinking, I look so regal and sophisticated, yet it feels comfortable like my shinobi attire. Kazuhana, seeing the look on Naruto's face, said, I'm glad you like it. If you really want to pay me for today, how about going and get us some dinner to show off your new clothes, telling everyone I made them. Then come back and have dinner with me, I'll clean up while you're gone. Naruto bowed slightly, saying, okay, I would be honored. She blushed, saying, if I finish before you get back, I live right upstairs and I'll give you the key to get back in the front door. I can make several more outfits like that, but what I will do is alternate the color scheme. Where this one is primary black, I'll make another that's primary red and adjust the colors accordingly. I'll also put together funeral wear, several casual, tuxedos and swimwear to complete your wardrobe based on your taste and personality. Does that sound good to you? Naruto said, sure, that sound real good. What you would like to eat? Kazuhana said with a smile, surprise me. You know a lot about me. Let's see how well you listened. Naruto nodded, giving her his classic thumbs up pose. Kazuhana laughed, pulling out a key, handing it to him, and he said, I'll be back shortly. After Naruto left, she quickly began to move around the area. She had been tailoring Naruto, grabbing the notebook with the measurements she would need, quickly running around the shop. Kazuhana's apartment. It was 30 minutes later when Naruto walked up the stairs to the living area of Kazuhana home and knocked on the door. When Kazuhana opened the door, Naruto's eyes widened slightly as he saw Kazuhana had changed. She had her hair in a nice bun with 2 purple lily hairpins, as well as put on some lip gloss, wearing a very short purple Chinese dress showing her cleavage and pierced belly button with the charm of the wind dragon with diamonds for eyes. Naruto blushed, saying, wow, you look lovely, Kazuhana-chan. Kazuhana, stepping to the side, said, thank you, Naruto-kun, won't you come in? Naruto nodded, coming in, and as he looked around, saying, nice place. Kazuhana said, arigato, here, let me take those. As she grabbed the takeout plates and moved to the table. Naruto remembered Kazuhana's stories, deciding to pull out the chair for her, and she smiled, sitting down, said, arigato. Naruto said hesitantly, you're welcome. Kazuhana questioned his awkwardness. Yes, Naruto-kun? Naruto asked, why? Well, what I mean is. Kazuhana sighed, saying, I thought that it would be nice to have dinner with you. I think you're a rather handsome young man, and I thought it would be nice to think of it as a date. She blushed, and he gulped, looking at Kazuhana, saying, I'm nothing special, Kazuhana-chan. You, on the other hand, are a very beautiful and kind lady that any guy would be honored and lucky to go on a date with you, including me. Kazuhana's eyes widened as her cheeks flushed from the sincerity in his words, saying, "Arigato, then let eat." As she blushed, lowering her head, Naruto said, "Sure," and he quickly pulled his mask to eat the sushi and onigiri before returning it to its previous state. Kazuhana stared wide-eyed. "That was fast. Why do you wear that mask?" Naruto smiled, leaning back in his seat. "It was a gift that I greatly cherish from one of my precious people, so I always wear it." Kazuhana nodded, and once she finished, she threw the plastic plates away, coming back into the room. She walked up behind Naruto, wrapping her arms around his neck, whispering, "Arigato for a lovely evening, but the night's still young." Naruto looked confused as Kazuhana gently took his hand, saying seductively, "Come with me." Naruto got up, following her. Seeing they were headed to the bedroom, Naruto bit his lip. "I am only 12, I never even kissed a girl." Kazuhana turned around, pulling him closer, wrapping her arms around his neck, leaning forward, pulling his mask down, trapping his lips in a passionate kiss. She licked his bottom lip to receive entrance, fully dominating his tongue with her own, receiving a moan from him that pulsated throughout her whole body when she gently rubbed his right cheek. After ending the kiss, she looked at him, licking her lips in anticipation, responding, "I heard there's a shinobi catchphrase that goes, old enough to kill, old enough to drink and fuck." She mischievously smirked, "You purr when your whisker marks are rubbed." Naruto hung his head, following her into the bedroom. "Please keep it a secret." She giggled, nodding, "I'll never tell a soul." The next morning, Naruto awoke feeling a weight on his chest and saw a mess of violet hair laying on his chest, taking a moment on the events of the previous night, thinking, "You're right, Kazuhana-chan. Women can be even more deceptive and mischievous than any man." Kazuhana awoke, moving her head to his ear, moaning, "Morning, Naruto." Naruto stuttered as she started to nibble at his earlobe, "Morning, Kazuhana-chan." Kazuhana pushed herself on top of him, trickling her hand down his toned chest, lingering on his abs for a few seconds before leaning towards his ear, seductively whispering, "Looks like the beast has awakened too," as she put her hand into his boxer, grabbing his manhood when mentioning the beast. Naruto groaned as he felt Kazuhana's hands stoke up and down the beast, as she so called it. After some intense intercourse, Naruto was in the shower thinking, "Damn, I've been seduced," as he bit his lip. After getting dressed in his new attire from the hospital, Naruto walked into the living room smelling breakfast, and Kazuhana came from the kitchen with 2 plates, smiling, sitting them on the table. She walked over, wrapping her arms around Naruto's shoulders, engaging him in a passionate kiss. Naruto moaned, pulling her closer, causing Kazuhana to moan as well. Once they both broke the kiss, Kazuhana said, "Breakfast is ready." Naruto nodded, sitting down at the table. They began eating, and Naruto blushed, saying, "I've greatly enjoyed spending time with you, Kazuhana-chan." Kazuhana said, "I've enjoyed spending time with you as well, Naruto-kun, but don't speak as if we'll never spend time together again." Naruto frowned. "Sadly, it has to end. I have to attend the academy tomorrow for team assignments." Kazuhana hung her head shamefully, hesitantly, saying, "Naruto-kun, that's alright. I expected it, but to be truthful, I've misled and seduced you." Naruto, confused, asked, "What do you mean, Kazuhana-chan?" Kazuhana said, "I'm actually engaged, but you have to understand that I am being forced to marry the shipping magnate, Gato, who handles my fabric supplier, because of a marriage arrangement forced upon my parents before their untimely demise." Naruto frowned. "No one should be forced to marry someone they don't love. Why don't you close shop and run away?" Kazuhana responded, "Well, it was my parents' last wish that I continue the family business, so I want to honor it, but I just get so lonely sometimes. I never meant to hurt." Naruto held a hand up. "It's quite alright, Kazuhana-chan, you provided me with the best night of my life." He then held her hand. "I want you to come to Konoha and start a new life under the protection of my clan." Kazuhana's eyes widened. "You would do that for me, Naruto-kun?" He nodded, and she said, "I don't know what to say or how to begin to show my appreciation." Naruto responded with foxy grin, "It's my pleasure, Kazuhana-chan, and I'm sure you can think of a few ways to show your appreciation. I'll leave you a few kage bunshins to help pack up your things. Do you have enough scrolls?" She nodded, smiling, and they finished breakfast, talking and laughing before bidding each other farewell as Kazuhana handed Naruto the scroll containing his new wardrobe, while he made a few kage bunshins to help Kazuhana pack. They shared a passionate kiss before he pulled his mask on, headed off to sneak back into the village. Chapter 2, Squad 7. Morning of team assignments. Naruto woke up late, jumping into the shower, thinking, "Soon I finally get rid of my mask showing the real me." He wore his black-clothed hitaite on his forehead, red short-sleeved shirt, tan pants with black shinobi sandals and sapphire stud earrings. He had a black shuriken holster on his right leg and 2 hip pouches, grabbing a pears and bottled water on his way out. After eating his impromptu breakfast, he shunshin over to the academy, strolling into the room with one hand stuffed into his pocket while reading the tale of the utterly gutsy shinobi, nonchalantly taking a seat to the right of Sasuke. Immediately the whole class looks towards him. Kiba being the first to voice his confusion. "What are you doing here, dope? What's with the red hair?" Naruto looking over his shoulder, smirking inwardly, calmly stating, You say something, Kiba?" Kiba responded angrily, "Why you?" But before he could finish, there was a loud screeching sound coming through the door. Ino shouted, "I was here first, forehead." Sakura howled, "Yeah right Inobuta, my foot was through the door before you." Naruto was laying back in his seat with his feet propped up on the desk casually reading when suddenly a figure stood over him. He looked up from his book seeing Sakura and smiled. "Hello Sakura and Ino, how are y'all today?" Sakura threateningly spat, "Get out my seat Naruto baka." Naruto creased his brow looking around as if checking for something saying, "Sakura, I don't see your name anywhere on the chair or desk as belonging to you." Ino politely asked, "Hey Naruto, can you please let me sit next to Sasuke-kun?" He gestured to her, "You can take the seat on the other side of the team." Ino nodded whispering arigato before sitting on the left of Sasuke. Sakura became flustered trying to slam a fist on his head shouting, "Don't call Sasuke-kun names." Naruto smacked it past his head causing Sakura to fall face first on the floor warning, "You should know that as a shinobi I am now entitled to protect myself against other shinobi's attacks." A raucous laughter came from Kiba in the front row seat across from Naruto, his reaction inciting chuckles and smirks from a majority of the class. Even Sasuke smirked letting loose a light chuckle nodding his head approvingly when Naruto looked at him. Everyone stopped when Iruka entered the room and cleared his throat. "Alright class, we're here to announce your Jonin squad and Jonin sensei who you'll meet after the lunch break. Any questions?" Sakura after shuffling to the seat above Naruto glaring at him fiercely with Kiba snickering below raised her hand. Iruka sighed, "Yes Sakura?" Sakura biting her lip asked, "Do we get to choose our teammates?" Iruka rubbed his chin smirking, "Good question. You definitely don't get a choice as Hokage-sama and the Jonin sensei formed these squads collectively." Iruka could not resist chuckling at Sakura's downtrodden look deciding to get one last lesson in by telling the class of Naruto's first mission. "In fact, the only one in here who I think has the right for any sort of privilege is none other than the dead last, Uzumaki Naruto." Iruka looked at Naruto and his eyes widened. "Naruto, what happened to your hair? Did you dye it again?" Everyone looked towards Naruto, now a spiky-haired redhead with two locks wrapped in aqua blue silk framing the sides of his face. Naruto remembering after performing genetic amalgamation injecting himself with Ashina DNA his hair turned blood red and hinged his hair until this morning finally revealing it. He shook his head, "No Iruka-sensei, my hair turned red after performing an Uzumaki ritual that must have awakened my Uzumaki bloodline." Naruto knew that was not the full truth but not exactly a lie either. Iruka nodded turning his attention back to the class. Many in the class was in awe still not believing he was from a prestigious clan turning to curiosity about why Iruka felt he deserved to choose his teammates. Sasuke frowned discreetly thinking he's just like me in a way maybe worse growing up alone never having the opportunity to know his clansmen. Ami one of Sasuke's faithful fangirl asked with several other classmates nodding approvingly, "Why would the baka get that privilege and not Sasuke-kun?" Iruka smiled prepared to teach the class one last lesson, "Well, shinobis are handed missions depending on rank. The village head categorizes missions into 5 ranks based on the mission's possible danger and level of importance. Some shinobis put missions on a higher priority than others choosing to accomplish the mission over the lives of their comrades, or following orders even if it meant their deaths. Does anyone remember Konoha Shinobi Rule Number 4? Naruto answered, "Konoha Shinobi Rule Number 4, a shinobi must always put the mission first." Iruka nodded approvingly, "Correct NAR." Naruto interrupted him leaning back in his chair looking at ceiling, "But in life rules are meant to be broken so I would never abandon my comrades just to accomplish a mission." Iruka smiled proudly, "I share the same sentiment as does many Konoha shinobis but moving on." At this point, he drew a big D on the board. D-rank missions are usually completed by fresh genins such as you posing almost no risk. Then he wrote a big C on the board. C-ranked missions are assigned to experienced genin or chunin and usually involve no combat such as bodyguard duty, background investigations or capturing or suppressing wild animals. I expect most of you doing C-rank missions by the end of the year. Next, he drew a big B and could not help but smirk. B-ranked missions are assigned to experienced chunin anticipating combat with other shinobi such as bodyguard duty, espionage, and low-rank assassinations. Naruto has already completed a B-ranked mission, thus why he gained a field promotion and would have the most rights in choosing his squad even though he won't get to. Everyone in class promptly eyed Naruto, and he explained still leaning in his chair with his eyes closed. "I was tricked by the traitorous Mizuki-sensei into stealing an important scroll to learn a technique in order to pass a secondary academy genin exam. Iruka-sensei found me and I explained that Mizuki-sensei told me to steal the scroll as a test. Eventually Mizuki-sensei attacked injuring Iruka-sensei when he protected me. Ultimately I defeated Mizuki-sensei using the jutsu I learned so Hokage-sama felt that I displayed the necessary abilities to be a genin." Sasuke and Naruto shared a glance as Naruto nodded acceptance of an unspoken approval. Sasuke was genuinely impressed and intrigued by Naruto feeling a kinship in loneliness and loss. Iruka smiled, as it seemed that Naruto had matured greatly over the last month. "Well, moving on class." He drew a big A rank missions. These are almost only for Jonin and usually include important tasks that greatly benefit Konoha or Hai no Kuni, such as assassination of missing nins or wanted criminals and guarding dignitaries. He drew an S, making it big and bold with the chalk. Finally, S-ranked missions are extremely dangerous and appointed solely to elite Jonin or Anbu. They concerns matters of confidentiality such as assassinating dignitaries and transporting highly classified documents. Also, all missions can be upgraded whilst in the field to a higher rank, so never become complacent. That's how Naruto had his first B-ranked mission. It was entirely coincidental. Well, that was the last lesson I have to offer you guys. The team assignments are. Naruto decided to tone out the team's announcements until he heard his or the other clan heirs' names while reading the tale of the utterly gutsy shinobi. Squad 7 will be Uchiha Sasuke, Hirono Sakura and Inner Sakura cheered. Cha, we're on a team with Sasuke-kun. Sakura pumped her fist up. Yeah, take that, Inobuta, true love prevails. Iruka shook his head. Uzumaki Naruto, your Jonin sensei will be Hatake Kakashi. Naruto and Sasuke shared a look with smirks, knowing that they had a decent squad and a rival to push them to their limit. Sakura was banging her head against her desk thinking, why me? Iruka continued with team assignments, stating, Squad 8 consisting of Abirame Shino, Hyuga Hinata, and Inazuka Kiba, your Jonin sensei will be Yuhi Kurinai. Squad 9 is still in circulation, so Squad 10 will be Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, and Akimichi Choji. Your Jonin sensei will be Saratobi Asuma. Iruka was finished announcing the squads and gathered his things. You may go to lunch and return in 2 hours to meet with your Jonin sensei. Naruto stood up and tucked his book away, looking towards Sasuke and Sakura. Well, I'm really hungry, so y'all can join me at Ramen Ichiraku if you want. Ja-eni Naruto shunshin, leaving his classmates wide-eyed. Earlier at the Hokage Tower, the Sandaime and the Jonin sensei were watching the classroom from the viewing orb. As they watched, Naruto strolled in with a hand in his pocket and book covering his face before getting into it with Kiba. Kakashi notated, well, he seems a lot calmer, which is a great improvement from previously. The chain-smoking Jonin, Saratobi Asuma, chuckled, well, looks as if we have a mini Kakashi on our hands. The Sandaime glared at Kakashi and flared his chakra to express his seriousness. If he takes on your penitence for lateness, I will demote you to Genin and order you to D-rank missions for a year. Kakashi sweated lightly at the threat. Hi, Hokage-sama. Yuhi Kurinai was disgusted watching the two fangirls as Naruto swatted Sakura punch away, causing her to fall face first. Now, was that truly necessary? She could have hurt herself, and she attacked a fellow shinobi. Kakashi listened to Naruto explain his first B-ranked mission, throwing the academy folder back on the Sandaime's desk. He then stated, so the rumors were actually true about the Mizuki incident. I guess I won't be going by his academy records and underestimate him. You should truly burn his file and start a new one. The Sandaime and Kakashi then eyed the orb. Well, Kakashi, seem you'll have your hands full with those two, so I suggest you bring Hirono up to a satisfactory level as support, as it seems you have two heavy hitters. Kakashi nodded, scanning her file, seeing her potential as either a medic nin or a genjutsu specialist, maybe both if she was willing to push herself. The entire room went silent when Naruto disappeared out of the classroom in a swirl of leaves. The Sandaime immediately signaled for an Anbu to bring Naruto before him. Naruto was in the alley across from Ramen Ichiraku watching for his classmates when an Anbu grabbed him and shunshin away. He suddenly landed before the Sandaime with several Jonins standing to the side. A bearded man who looked similar to the Sandaime seemed to be smirking, standing next to an attractive raven-haired kunoichi with black ringed red eyes. Naruto was speechless, only whispering beautiful that no one could hear, but they all read his lips and looked towards Kurinai, who maintained her stoic visage as if she did not notice him. A violet-haired woman with a pineapple-shaped ponytail wearing an orange skirt with an open tan trench coat covering only a fishnet shirt grin sent shivers down his spine. Naruto spotted a lazy-looking masked man with gravity-defying silver hair cocking his head curiously before widening his eyes, pointing dramatically, Ni-san? Kakashi, not to be outplayed, I bulged, Otodo. Naruto smiled behind his mask. I thought I'd never see you again. Kakashi walked forward, nodding his head and ruffled Naruto's hair, giving his signature one-eyed smile. It's been a long time, Naruto. I'm surprised you recognized me. Naruto nodded, wiping his sleeve across the tears threatening the corners of his eyes. I recognize your hair and statue, but I'd never forget the day you found me, changing my life slightly with this mask. So I cherish it, as I will always cherish you as one of my most precious people. Kakashi nodded appreciatively. I appreciate that, but I guess I should properly introduce myself. Hatake Kakashi, your Jonin sensei. Naruto eyes widened. The Sharingan no Kakashi, sole surviving student of the Yondaime. Kakashi winced inwardly but nodded. The Sandaime cleared his throat, getting the attention of those in the room. I hate to interrupt your brief reunion, Naruto, but I sent for you because of that performance in the classroom. How do you know the leaf shunshin, and what else do you know? Naruto put on a sad visage with fake tears threatening to fall. Hokage-sama, since the instructors never tried to teach me. He lowered his head, touching his stomach for added effect. even hindering or sabotaging me if I was performing well because of my burden. He looked up smiling, so I decided to hinge myself into a chunin that I've seen around the village and went to the library to find an awesome technique to train over the month break to prepare for the trails of being a shinobi. Naruto snickered inwardly. I'm so good I could probably act in an upcoming Princess Gale movie. I can perform the basic chakra control exercises since that was one of my major faults, and learn basic kenjutsu. Beside the two of the basic ninjutsu of the Academy and Kage Bunshin, which you are aware of, I learned Leaf Shunshin along with Shuriken/Kunai Kage Bunshin from the scroll you provided. The Sandaime and Jonin sensei frowned knowing of his mistreatment and hindering in the academy but stunned with the training he completed in just a month. He learned the basic chakra control exercises, an A-rank technique along with a supplementary jutsu all by himself. He was a hidden prodigy. The Sandaime nodded. You may leave, Naruto-kun. Naruto bowed and Shunshin back to Ramen Ichiraku. After Naruto was gone, the Sandaime immediately ordered Kakashi keep an eye on him. I have a feeling he didn't fully disclose all his abilities. Everyone but Kakashi raised a brow. I know what you mean, Hokage-sama. If not for my years of experience, I would never have recognized the facade. Kurenai questioned. Y'all can't be serious as to say that he lied quite well. I may add to a room full of Jonins, and that he learned even more than what he reported. Enko answered, the Gaki was definitely lying, but I commend him on the act as only an elite Jonin or experienced interrogator would catch the subtle hints. The Sandaime and Kakashi nodded, having the same impression. Ramen Ichiraku. Sasuke was the first out of the room, followed by everyone else heading for Ramen Ichiraku. As the group approached Ramen Ichiraku, they lifted the flap and Sakura fumed, that Baka isn't even here. Naruto, having Shunshin from the Sandaime's office, slipped next to Sakura undetected, asking, who isn't here, Sakura? Sakura nearly jumped out her skin. Eek. WND, did you get here? Naruto with a foxy grin stated, I had to go see Hokage-sama, so I came in right behind you guys. I am noticing Naruto. Hey Naruto-kun, where you been? I haven't seen you the last couple of weeks. Naruto turning to I smiled. I've been busy training and changed my diet a bit since I got the hospital. I rushed from behind the counter checking him for any injuries. I worried, asked, are you okay? What happened? Naruto waved it off. I'm okay, chan, I just hurt my head a little, saving Ino-chan. Smiled mischievously. Oh okay, but be more careful, Naruto. I would hate to lose my future husband before I even get to go on a date with him. Naruto blushed, shouting, chan. She waved him off. I was just joking, Naruto, although you should never make a promise you can't keep. Naruto stammered. I was like 5, I didn't think you took it seriously. He then smirked, pulling her close and embracing her tightly against his body. However, my beautiful chan. Cheek grew a crimson tint from the closeness, and his warm breath speaking to her, lovingly gazing deep into his cerulean eyes. If you ever want to go out, just tell me when to pick you up. Giggled and responded amusingly. Well, I'm off Friday, so pick me up at 7. She gave him a quick kiss to the cheek and quickly ran into back without even taking any of their order. Naruto stood slack-jawed, blushing while feeling his warm cheek, dumbfounded that she actually kissed him. Then he noticed a shadow over him, realizing Tuchi was standing over him. Naruto, you realize what will happen if you make her cry? Naruto gulped, nodding fearfully. I would never hurt chan. She is one of my most precious people. Tuchi smiled, patting Naruto's head, nodding approvingly, knowing how Naruto felt about his precious people. I know, but as a father I still needed to warn you. While this was going on, there were several different reactions among the various females. Many stood stunned by the entire interaction between Naruto and Hinata was glaring fiercely at as she ran into the back and thought darkly, how dare she kiss, and tried to take my Naruto-kun. Ino smiled, thinking, I guess Sakura won't have to worry about Naruto asking her out anymore, but maybe I could. Ino then shook the preceding thought from her mind. Sakura smiled half-heartedly. Congratulations, Naruto, I'm happy for you, now you can stop asking me out. Naruto smiled, arigato Sakura, but that doesn't mean we can't hang out as friends and teammates. Sakura felt her chest tighten, thinking, I just realized he hasn't been calling me Sakura-chan anymore, surprised at how much that actually hurt her. Inner Sakura added, doesn't matter, we have Sasuke-kun. Sakura stuttered mentally, why yeah, that's right. At this time came back, having calmed her nerves, and was taking their orders when a young lady intertwined her arms around Naruto's neck from behind, pulling down his mask discreetly, and kissed his cheek. I'll have whatever handsome here is having. She caught everyone by surprise, as Naruto turned wide-eyed to see Kazuhana over his shoulder. Naruto stammered, Kazuhana-chan, what are you doing here already? She smirked. Well, the Kage Bunshins told me that they would take care of everything for me, so I came with a squad of Konoha shinobi that was still in town to come find you immediately. Naruto rubbed his chin thoughtfully, must have been Tenten's team. Irritably questioned him, Naruto-kun, who is this woman that has her arms around you so affectionately? Naruto gulped, looking between and Kazuhana, surprised to see his classmates focused on him, awaiting an answer as well. Naruto sighed, better to clear the air, possibly avoiding any further controversy. I am Chan. This is Kazuhana-chan. I meet her when I snuck out the village after I got out the hospital the day I saved Ino-chan. I offer her a place at my clan's compound as protection for her fiancé, the shipping magnate Gato, trying to force her into an arranged marriage which I'm sure he strong-armed her parents into signing. Kazuhana smiled mischievously. Yes, but Naruto-kun, we became so much more Saturday night. She pulled him into her ample bosom as he blushed, making his face almost match his hair. You wouldn't be denying me the pleasures of the beast already, would you? He gave her a dumbfounded look like you trying to get me killed. Naruto feel a slight increase in killing intent and became frightened, looking for an escape as several females surrounded him. Tenten threateningly asked while twirling a kunai between her fingers. Naruto, what is this beast that she speaks of? Naruto shocked at Tenten's demeanor. Ah, Tenten, when did you get here? Tenten smiled sweetly, sending shivers down his spine. Well, I came to find you for a spar but came upon this very interesting scene. Naruto, still shocked that she was angry by the situation, stepped back, bumping into Kazuhana. It wasn't my fault. She seduced me with some shinobi catchphrase about old enough to die, old enough to drink and sleep around, or something like that. Please don't hurt me. Kazuhana suddenly felt the ire of several females directed at her but remained cool and calm, snaking her arms around Naruto's neck from behind with her chin resting on his head, smiling joyfully. That's one way of putting it. But we basically had a lovely dinner, then I lead him to my room where he released the beast upon me. I've never felt so satisfied in my entire life. Poor little Naruto-chan, I leave you alone to go on a mission and you get seduced by a civilian. I thought you said you were a shinobi? Naruto turned to see Subaki with her arms crossed, upset. Subaki-san, the word stopped in his mouth as she slapped him across the face. Naruto held his bruised cheek, dazed, unable to comprehend why she was so mad. Subaki irritably vexed, is that any way to address a friend that got you flowers, a fruit basket, and those new clothes? Naruto was stunned and Ino's eyes bulged, interrupting the tension. You're the one that got him the bright blue skies bouquet and fruit basket? Subaki, peeved, was turning to walk away when Naruto quickly grasped her hand softly. Subaki-chan, I didn't know. I actually thought Ino brought the flowers and that Irika-sensei or Hokage-sama brought the clothes when I was unconscious. I'm not used to people doing nice things for me. Subaki shamefully averted her gaze. It's alright, I just returned from a mission and thought I'd check on you. She pulled her hand away, turning to walk away again, and Naruto tried to stop her. Wait, Subaki-chan. Kiba suddenly grabbed him by the shoulder, laughing raucously. Damn, Naruto, who would have guessed you were such a ladies' man? He was smiling toothily, giving Naruto a thumbs up as all the males began to smirk, even Sasuke, while Tsuchi gave him a thumbs up. Naruto rubbed the back of his head and chuckled weakly. Arigato, Kiba, but you aren't exactly helping things. Then I'll help you, my cute little Naruto-kun. Kazuhana walked up to Naruto, giving him a peck on the cheek. Why are you ladies getting angry over an Uzumaki? That's the last known member of his clan. They looked at her confusingly and Kazuhana turned to Subaki. You seem to be very much attached to my little Naruto-kun here. May I ask why? Subaki embarrassingly hung her head. Honestly, since Mizuki-kun turned down a dark path, I've been suffering depression. Then he became a megalomaniac trying to deceive Naruto-kun out of hatred. After his treachery, I felt disconnected from the world, but Naruto-kun found me after the announcement of his clan lineage. He made me smile and laugh for the first time in months, and I began yearning for that feeling but also frightened of being betrayed again. Naruto stood wide-eyed, lowering his head, guilt-ridden. I never knew you going through such turmoil, Subaki-chan. Subaki sighed. I didn't know myself until I heard about your accident. At first, it was just feeling of a friend being hurt. Then I saw how bloody your clothes were and my heart felt like I was going to lose another person I hold dear. Naruto held her hand softly, and she averted her gaze. I would never betray you, Subaki-chan, I promise you. She turned, meeting his cerulean eyes staring at him passionately. I'll hold you to that, Naruto-kun. Kazuhana quietly approached the other girls while Naruto and Subaki talked, whispering. So why are you smitten with my Naruto-kun? I am blushed, whispering. Honestly, since I was 10 and the cutest 5 years old told me I was the most beautiful girl in the world. He promised to marry me, so I've been in love waiting for the day he'd fulfill his promise and make me the happiest woman in the world. Kazuhana turned to Tenten. So what's your story? Tenten faltered, babbling. Well, I guess I find him intriguing. She smiled, nodding approvingly to both girls, leaving them to talk amongst themselves. She slid next to Ino, seeing her staring confusingly between Sasuke and Naruto, discreetly murmured, How about you? Ino stiffened. What about me? Kazuhana gave her an incredulous look. Don't act coy with me? Ino nervously twitched, looking around. I don't know, I'm still conflicted about my feelings. I was so sure I wanted Sasuke until a few days ago. Kazuhana nodded, leaving her to contemplate on her feelings. Kazuhana wrapped her arms around Ayam and Tenten, whistling to Subaki. Well, come with me, ladies, so we can talk. She then whispered, I see no reason to fight over him. I'll explain some things about the Uzumaki clan that would alleviate the tension between us. She tapped Naruto's shoulder, telling him that they were leaving. Ayam looked back to her father ready to say something, but he waved her off, smiling. I'll be fine, go and settle this controversy over my future son-in-law. Ayam blushed at the mention of really becoming Naruto's future wife. Naruto created a few Kage Bunshins with mental instructions as two disappeared in a cloud of smoke. After a Kage Bunshin escorted Kazuhana, Subaki, Ayam and Tenten towards the compound, everyone finally sat eating with Naruto sitting next to Sasuke silently. Lunch break finally ended as everyone headed towards the academy. Konoha's Memorial Stone. Kakashi stood in front of the memorial stone, a habitual ritual, but now his sensei's son was to be on his along with Uchiha Sasuke, which the Sandaime was adamant was not an option. He was to lead Squad 7 and personally mentor the last loyal Uchiha Kakashi, revered as a genius. Now he would use his incredible abilities to be the best possible sensei. There would be no wasted time. Here was a chance to honor his sensei and train his son to be a splendid shinobi along with his teammates. They could be a squad that rivaled the Sannin, and the Yondaime would have fought alongside proudly. Kakashi, looking forward to it, thought this should be quite interesting. At the academy, as the students returned to the classroom after lunch, everyone sat in correlation to their new squads. Squad 7 in the left front row as Squad 8 and 10 sat behind them respectively. Shortly after settling down in their seats, the Jonin sensei began to appear one by one. First, a beautiful raven-haired kunoichi entered with black ringed red eyes and a one red arm dress wrapped in bandages from mid-thigh and up tactically. Squad 8, I'm Yohi Kurenai, come with me. Naruto gasped as he realized she was the kunoichi from the Sandaime's office. Squad 8 waved goodbye to their fellow classmates as they left, but Kurenai locked eyes with him, briefly smirking when he flinched. While Squad 8 was getting up from their seats, a tall, stocky, bearded man with a cigarette in his mouth entered. Squad 10, I'm Sarutobi, some of you guys are with me. He then turned to Naruto, you guys will be waiting a while. He started laughing wholeheartedly as he exited with Squad 10 with them waving their goodbye. Squad 7 was standing around in the classroom alone. I got to see our sensei earlier before I caught you guys at Ramen Ichiraku. Sasuke raised a brow, intrigued by what Naruto might know about their sensei, and Sakura asked, you did? What's he like? Naruto smiled genuinely through his mask, and Sasuke and Sakura took note of it, never seeing him truly smile. He rescued me once while rummaging through trash looking for food when I was living on the street, and gave me this face mask. As he pointed to his mask. Sasuke surprisingly was the one to ask, how old were you and why were you living on the street? Naruto looked to his teammates and saw the genuine curiosity and concern in their eyes. I was kicked out the orphanage when I was 4.5 years old, living on the streets until our sensei, an Anbu agent at the time, found me and brought me to the Sandaime. He handed me this face mask to hide my facial features so that the villagers wouldn't recognize me anymore, but the academy instructor still knew my name. Sakura immediately chastised, why would you hide from the villagers? What did you do? Naruto stood leaning against Irika's desk with his arms crossed under his chest. He averted his gaze for a while but then turned and eyed them with stone-cold seriousness. Sasuke for one could not believe the feeling he felt from Naruto's gaze as a cold chill ran down his spine. He eyed Sakura out the corner of his eye only to see her faring far worse, as if she was suffocating under pressure of Naruto's presence. Naruto sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. There are things about me that cause people's ignorance to resent me for something that I had no control over. I just can't say right now, but I promise one day that I will share my pain. Sasuke nodded understandingly, knowing about keeping one's pain private. Naruto walked over to the window to stare out at the sky, then watched as Sasuke walked up beside him, also staring out the window into nothingness. I never really realized this until the truth of your lineage was announced, but we are like long-lost brothers in loneliness and pain. You more than anyone else in this village can understand me, and I understand you now because we are so much alike. Except you didn't even get to know your clansmen before their death. Naruto put a hand on Sasuke's shoulder, and Sasuke turned to meet his gaze. I won't lie to you, Sasuke, at first I hated your guts because so many people throw their affections to you, but you just neglected them. I came to see you as a rival to make those that admire you come to admire me. Until that day we first sparred, that's when I saw in your eyes the same look as mine's. The same loneliness and pain I felt, but also a loathing that I came to recognize from the villagers. At first I was terrified until I realized it wasn't towards me but someone else. Sasuke nodded. Yes, I also felt and saw it that day. Remember when we saw each other later when I sitting on the pier on the lake? Naruto chuckled. Another attribute I believe we share is our stubbornness to never give in no matter what. Sasuke smiled, nodding. True, but it's what makes me and you different from the rest, and possibly the best too. My natural talent and desire to push myself beyond all limits, and your limitless growth potential. Naruto chuckled lightly. We are possibly the best team in terms of growth potential, with the potential to surpass the legendary Sannin, especially if Sakura get over being a fangirl and takes being a kunoichi seriously. She glared and marched up to him, and he held his hands up. I'm just saying, Sakura, that if you actually seriously train to be a kunoichi instead of Sasuke's future wife, which isn't happening unless you train, because as the last of our clan we'd only want strong beautiful kunoichi or women as wives to produce strong children to carry on our bloodline. Sasuke only nodded approvingly of Naruto's statement. Sakura hung her head thinking, did Sasuke just agree with Naruto? Are they becoming friends without me? Sasuke and Naruto shared a look, and Sasuke sighed. That doesn't mean we aren't willing to help you improve, Sakura. My clan possessed some of the best genjutsu experts. Naruto smiled, saying, my clan made some great advances in medical ninjutsu, which is how Tsunade-sama became so renowned after learning from her grandmother Mito-sama. My sentiments exactly. Squad 7 turned around to see a tall, gravity-defying silver-haired masked Jonin leaning against Irika's desk. I plan on training you guys to be the best shinobi squad and Squad 7 to ever be assembled. Naruto and Sasuke both smirked and Sakura smiled between them. Well, my first impression of you guys very intriguing. Well, meet me on the roof for team introductions. Disappearing in a swirl of leaves. As Sasuke and Sakura were about to head to the door, they felt Naruto's hand on their shoulder with foxy grin on his face as they flickered away. The academy's rooftop. The next second they were looking at their sensei leaning against the roof railing. Sasuke asked, where did you learn that? Naruto stated, I found the scroll in the shinobi section of the library. Kakashi cleared his throat. Well, now that we're all together, let's begin introductions. You know your likes, dislikes, hobbies, and dreams. Sakura asked, why don't you go first, sensei? Kakashi sighed. Fine, my name is Hitaki Kakashi. I like some things but really don't dislike anything. My hobbies I don't feel like telling you. Naruto waved a green and red book in his hands. These are his hobbies right here. Kakashi nodded with a dreamy expression while Naruto tucked his books away. Kakashi concluded with his signature eye smile. My dreams are none of your business. He pointed to Sakura, Cherry Blossom. She glared at him saying, my name is Haruno Sakura. I like memorization, and she glanced at Sasuke with pink tinting her cheek. I dislike Inobuta, Naruto Baka, and perverts. And my dreams are. She glanced at Sasuke again, giggling, causing both her teammates to shake their heads. Then Naruto suddenly smiled. Kakashi-sensei, could you introduce her to Anko-san and Kurenai-sensei? His teammates and Kakashi looked at him curiously and he mouthed fangirl. Kakashi instantly understood, nodding his head, and he continued plainly, they are strong kunoichis and Kurenai-sensei is a genjutsu expert. Sasuke nodded, agreeing with his teammate's sentiments. You're up, Emo King. Sasuke and Sakura shot Kakashi a glare while Naruto chuckled lightly. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I don't really like much, but I'm starting to find a few. I don't hate much except anyone that causes those that I care about pain. I don't have many hobbies, but I enjoy archery, and my dreams are more of ambitions, as I will restore my clan to its former glory and kill a certain man. Naruto raised a brow, realizing he'd have to have a talk with him. Ototo. Naruto genuinely I smiled. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. I love my precious people, ramen, and training. I dislike people who can't tell the difference between a scroll and a kunai sealed inside and bullying. My hobbies are gardening, reading, cooking, and training, and my dreams are to restore my clan to its former glory, become the elemental nation's greatest fuinjutsu and kenjutsu specialist, become the best Anbu to ever don the porcelain mask, and lastly hopefully bring peace to the world. Naruto smiled, genuinely shocking his teammates with his extensive goals. Kakashi nodded approvingly, and I smiled knowing he'd guide his sensei's son to accomplish his dreams. Kakashi then thought, well, that was expected and unexpected. I have a fangirl, humanitarian assassin, and a homicidal avenger that has no friends yet. Well, as I said before, you guys are very intriguing, so meet me at Training Ground 3 for survival training tomorrow at 7 in the morning. Oh, and you might not want to eat breakfast because you'll just throw it up. Kakashi one eye smiled, flickering away. Naruto inquired, y'all want to come to my place so we can go over possibilities for the test? Sakura immediately declined. Baka, stop trying to get between me and Sasuke-kun. She turned to Sasuke, do you want to come over my place to prepare for tomorrow, Sasuke-kun? Sasuke turned to walk away but caught Naruto sending him a discreet signal to follow, and jumped off the roof. Sasuke and Sakura to rush to the edge, seeing Naruto softly land on his feet. He ran off as Sakura shouted, Baka, stop trying to be cool like Sasuke-kun. When she turned to talk to Sasuke, she realized she was alone on the roof. Naruto slowly walked towards the clan district of Konoha, with Sasuke joining him as they finally approached the compound gates. Naruto turned to Sasuke, there's something I need to show you before heading to the main manor, follow me. Underground office. Within a secret underground office, Sasuke was storm of emotions because of the information Naruto just revealed to him. Sasuke looked up from the diary and letter, how long have you known? Naruto sighed, I received the letter from Itachi after the Mizuki incident, but I didn't find out we were godbrothers until this weekend when I finally relaxed and looked through my mother's possessions. Sasuke ran his hand through his hair, staring at Naruto. Why didn't you tell me you were trained by my brother and cousin? Naruto raised a brow. Oh, and face the wrath of the emo king determined to kill said brother to avenge clan and cousin? I don't think so. Honestly though, I didn't know at the time that it was him that was training me, and Shursui told me to keep it a secret. Sasuke nodded understandingly. So what now? Naruto stood up. Well, I know you want to kill Danzo, but he's like a rat, cunning and sneaky, but I've thought of a few ways to flush him out of the shadows. I just need you to be calm, and when the time comes, we both will seek justice for your family and Itachi, but not revenge, because revenge is very bad, Sasuke. It darkens the heart, and we have to fill ourselves with the love of those around us in order to remain sane and replace what we've lost. Remember, we're like brothers now, so I'll always be here for you no matter what. Sasuke looked downtrodden but then smirked, nodding his head. Come on, dope, let's get ready for tomorrow's test. Naruto put his arm around Sasuke that he shrugged off half-heartedly, pushing him away. Yeah, and forgive Itachi. He was probably doing what he thought was best for the village, and you, although foolishly, but he was about our age when he did it. Naruto then led Sasuke towards the clan head manor. A few minutes later, they entered the living room, seeing Subaki sipping tea, smiling in a recliner, a smirking Kazuhana between both Ayam and Tenten blushing as they greeted them. Naruto hesitantly asked, Hey guys, how did your little talk go? Kazuhana cryptically answered with a mischievous smile, Let's say we've all come to an understanding of our roles in your life. Subaki looked away blushing, while Ayam and Tenten avoided his gaze with blushes as well, which incited raised brows from both male members of Squad 7. Naruto asked, looking at Ayam and Tenten curiously, So no more hostility? Ayam apologized first. I am sorry, Naruto-kun, for the way I acted earlier, but Kazuhana-chan explained everything better, so I'm fine now. Tenten added, I'm sorry as well, I honestly don't know what came over me. At that moment, 2 Kage Bunshins came through the front door. Naruto facing them, report. 1 Kage Bunshin stepped forward, Boss, all the accommodations have been prepared as you ordered. Naruto nodded, looking to the other Kage Bunshin, Boss, I received the invoice from Rei. I assisted him in restocking and categorizing the armory. Naruto nodded, excellent. He mentally commanded, take the yokai uniforms of Hikari and Yami to my underground office, and the Kage Bunshin shunshin away. The other Kage Bunshin asked, What's next, boss? Naruto thought for a moment, then pointed to Kazuhana's scrolls by the couch, take the scrolls to her room. The Kage Bunshin grabbed the scrolls, leaving to complete the task. Naruto went to his manor office and returned, passing out security clearance tags to each person. I need each of you to channel chakra into these tags to add your chakra signatures to the compound's security barrier. After they each sent chakra into the tags, the seal glowed before vanishing. Naruto looked to Ayam, who seemed to still avoid his gaze. Ayam-chan, I would like for you and Tuchi to move on the compound, if you guys would like. Ayam smiled brightly. Arigato, Naruto-kun, I'm sure Tusan would greatly appreciate it. I'll tell him tonight. Naruto shook his head. Don't worry about it, I'll have a Kage Bunshin retrieve Tuchi. Your accommodations have already been prepared. He created a Kage Bunshin at Shunshin to retrieve Tuchi. He turned to Tenten. Hey Tenten, you're an orphan too, right? She nodded. Well, how about moving onto the compound and then we'll have chances to spar? Tenten giggled at all the chances of sparring with Naruto. Oh my god, I feel like a little schoolgirl being near him. Come on, get it together, Tenten. You're a kunoichi, she responded. Arigato, Naruto-kun, I would love that. Naruto raised a brow as she quickly covering her mouth at adding the honorific to his name. He smiled, saying her name teasingly. The pleasure is all mine, Tenten-chan, would you like to stay for dinner? She flushed, nodding. He turned to his right. I'd like you to move into my manor, Sasuke. I know it must get lonely at the Uchiha compound on the outskirts of Konoha. Sasuke thought shortly. I am lonely, and we do share a common bond in dreams. Naruto then added, I have a special personal training chamber that has some interesting features you'd love, especially if you want to get strong quickly. Sasuke nodded, shaking Naruto's hand. I'd appreciate that, Naruto. I'll run over and grab a few things before thoroughly packing after our Jonin selection exam. Then he left to pack a few essentials. Naruto looked at Subaki, sighing. If I offer you a place on the compound, will you vanish out of Konoha this time? She averted her eyes, embarrassed, before staring into his eyes sincerely. I didn't know what I was feeling at the time, so I did the first thought that came to mind. However, I appreciate and accept your offer. He smiled genuinely, creating several Kage Bunshins as one shunshin away. 3 of you head to Tuchi's house and transfer all the possessions to a house in the civilian district, while the rest of you head to Tenten and Subaki's apartments, transferring all their possessions to their respective apartment. A few hours later, Naruto, Tuchi, Sasuke along with Subaki, Ayam and Tenten were in the living room. Rei entered. Arigato, Naruto. I appreciate the dinner invitation. Naruto smiled. Well, I wanted to introduce you to the new residents and have a celebratory dinner. Everyone was smiling and talking when Kazuhana came from the kitchen. Everyone head to the dining room, and Naruto-kun, may I have a few servers? He nodded, creating a few Kage Bunshins to handle the table service while everyone headed to the dining room. They ate an extravagant meal prepared by Kazuhana in celebration of the compound's new residents. Kage Bunshins escorted Tenten and Subaki to a smaller manor with Rei leading Tuchi, and Ayam to their residences in the civilian district. Naruto and Sasuke now sat across from each other with a small table between them. Sasuke asked, "Did you find out any information about what the test is about?" Naruto smirked, "Yeah, it's called the Bell Test, which is a Squad 7 tradition since the time of the Sandaime Squad with the Nidaime as their sensei. The legendary Sanins had the Sandaime, the Yandaime Squad had Jiraiya-sama, our sensei's squad had the Yandaime as the previous Squad 7. The point of the test is to retrieve 2 bells from your sensei within the given time limit." Sasuke smirked. "So it's a traditional Squad 7 test, but what's the catch? You said there's only 2 bells." Naruto laughed. "The tradition is that the Academy's Rookie of the Year, Best Kunoichi and Dead Last would form Squad 7, making it a balanced team. The reason the test became a tradition is because they stay a team even after advancing in rank, which usually doesn't happen as Chunin usually join a specific shinobi department like TNI, Academy, or even ANBU. The catch is that only 2 people can pass, with the third being sent back to the Academy." Sasuke frowned slightly. "So if you didn't pretend it to be a dope, Squad 7 would have had a different third member?" Naruto's brow rose and Sasuke smirked. "Yes, I knew you were hiding your abilities somewhat. How much or why I don't know, nor did I care at the time. Now I see it was partially to form a stronger squad." Naruto nodded. "I knew that if we bout fought for Rookie of the Year we'd never be on the same team and I would get stuck with civilians because another Ino Choshika and an Aburame, Hyuga, and Inuzuka tracking squad was destined." Sasuke nodded. "So what's the point? Wait, if only 2 people can pass, then how the Sandaime and Sanin squad pass?" Naruto stayed silent, expecting Sasuke to see underneath the underneath before egging him on. "Think about it, Sasuke. Pretty simple when you really think about it." Sasuke gave a light-hearted glare before realization flashed over his face. "Teamwork, it's not about the bells at all." Naruto nodded. "Exactly, the bells are a distraction to turn the team members against each other, and it's nearly impossible for a genin, no matter how talented they are, to beat a jonin single-handedly." Naruto and Sasuke then planned strategies that would both complete the task of showing teamwork and retrieve the bells. As they were putting the final pieces together, Kazuhana stepped in wearing a slightly see-through lavender nightgown with lavender bra revealing much her ample bosom and lace-trimmed cheeky panty. Kazuhana whispered in Naruto's ear, "Naruto-kun, please come to bed, I'm rather cold without your warmth." She captured his lips in a deep, passionate kiss when he leaned his head back to look up at her. Sasuke blushed slightly, immediately averting his eyes. Since he felt satisfied with their plan, he headed out to his new room. Kazuhana released Naruto from the kiss, pulling him up the stairs toward his bedroom. He immediately activated the room's privacy seal as Kazuhana pushed him down on the bed, slipping her hands into his pants to awaken the beast. Later that night, Naruto resting with Kazuhana curled up to his chest, thinking, "I don't have much leadership experience except the knowledge and memories of Ashina-sama, but now I need to create alliances that will best benefit the clan in the future. I still need to send out invitations to Irika-sensei, Miya-chan, and the Haranos." He cleared his mind and fell into a comfortable sleep to rest well for his genin selection exam. Chapter 3, New Arrivals. Third Training Ground. Sasuke approached the bridge leading to Training Ground 3 a little before 7 a.m. to await his team's new sensei. Sakura was yawning heavily with unkempt hair, not being able to straighten it, and her stomach growled badly since she chose not to eat breakfast. Sasuke was a bit better since he was used to getting up early. "Where's Naruto?" Sakura asked. "That baka hasn't arrived yet, and sensei could arrive at any moment." Sasuke shrugged the question off, as he already knew, and set out to lay some traps. When he got back to the stumps an hour later, Naruto suddenly flickered in front of a stump. "Naruto baka, you're late," Sakura shouted before lightly blushing, taking notice of Naruto's new attire, showing his toned abs and muscles through his mesh armor. He had a black hataite on his forehead and face mask. He wore long-sleeved red-trimmed double-layered mesh armor with white bandages around his wrists, with summoning lightning flash blade creation written in invisible ink underneath an open double-layered mesh armor black track jacket with red collar and wrists, with large uzumaki crest embroidered on the back. He also was wearing black fingerless shinobi gloves with uzumaki crest engraved metal plates, black ANBU shinobi pants secured by white bandages around his shin, black mid-shinobi sandals, his Shippuden sandals. He also had a black shuriken holster on his right thigh over white bandages, large hip pouch, and ninjato over his right shoulder. New additions to his jacket that he requested Kazuhana embroidered last night were 3 black magatama on each side of his collar, and uzumaki crest patches on both sleeves shoulder, his patch from his original canon outfit. Another new addition was a tanto he named White Fang. Flashback. Naruto exited the manor ready to prepare for his genin selection exam. As he exited the compound, he noticed Kakashi leaning against its wall. "Aniki, what are you doing here so early?" Naruto said, shocked that Kakashi would be at his compound before his team's exam. "Hey Naruto, I just wanted to congratulate you on completing the academy. I wanted to give you a present." He handed him a rectangular box and he was opening it when Kakashi said, "I know you'll take great care of it." He shunned Shin away before Naruto even got a chance to open the box completely. When Naruto opened the box, he was shocked to see the legendary white light chakra saber that earned Kakashi's father Hate Tsukumo the name Konoha's White Fang. He looked up but Kakashi was already gone. He whispered to Win's Arigato Aniki as tears fell from his eyes, running to the armory in order to strap it to his lower back. "Where's Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked, not sensing him in the area. Sasuke mentioned, "He hasn't showed up yet." Naruto inquired, "Did you guys eat breakfast?" Sakura immediately yelled at him. "Kakashi-sensei said not to eat, Naruto baka. Did you eat?" Naruto pointed out, "Of course I did, and no, Kakashi-sensei suggested not eating breakfast if we didn't want to throw it up." He then pulled out 2 bentos and handed them towards Sakura and Sasuke. Sasuke took his bento saying, "Arigato." Sakura gave him a questioning gaze and he informed her, "If you don't eat you won't have energy to perform at your best during the test. What's the point of following orders if they lead to you failing a mission?" Sasuke nodded while Sakura hesitated for a moment before grabbing the other, "Arigato." They ate comfortably with Naruto sitting between them against a stump with his eyes closed. Sakura asked, "Who made these bentos, Naruto?" Naruto smiled, enjoying the fact that his teammates were pleased with their bentos. "I did. I learned how to cook from a few cookbooks to save money and also for survival training." Sasuke just nodded approvingly, digging into his tomato slices after finishing the scrambled eggs and white rice, wondering how Naruto knew they were his favorite. Sakura also noticed that her bento was different from Sasuke. She had a small serving of scrambled eggs, white rice with steamed vegetables, and a mini serving of shiratama and mitsu, mochi, bean jam, agar, and pieces of fresh fruit served in syrup, her favorite. Her cheeks tinted pink, considering that Naruto could make her favorite better than her mom whenever she wanted. When they finished, Naruto sealed the empty containers back in a storage scroll, placing it in his hip pouch. He turned toward the east as he sensed Kakashi coming. Kakashi suddenly appeared in front of them, raising a brow at Naruto. "I like the new look, Naruto. How did you know where I would appear?" Naruto stated plainly, "I sensed your chakra." His teammates looked curious at him as Kakashi nodded, "So you're a sensor. How adept are you?" Naruto thought for a moment. "Well, about 50 kilometers if I concentrate hard enough, and 10 kilometers with little effort, plus now I can completely suppress my chakra." Kakashi nodded approvingly. "It's a rarity to find sensors nowadays, but it was said that the Uzumaki clan were exceptional sensors." Naruto chuckled sheepishly, rubbing his nape. "Yeah, that's why we also made great assassins. Well, I wanted to dress more traditional to my clan standards. Also, the nurses threw away the orange monstrosity when it got bloody after hurting my head, saving Ino. I only bought it solely for personal reasons, which helped in my unique training of stealth, infiltration, and sabotage. I did have fun with my final prank, test." He suddenly turned deathly serious with eyes as cold as ice while throwing a scroll to Kakashi. "The village's security is abysmal if an academy student could elude patrols and prank important village structures. The scroll details how I planned and successfully completed my tests." Kakashi stood shocked at the revelation before him. "So all those pranks were you actually training and taking notes of the weaknesses in the village's security?" Naruto nodded as Kakashi pocketed the scroll. "Excellent job, Naruto." Sakura yelled after getting over her confusion, "You're late again, Kakashi-sensei." Kakashi one-eyed smiled, "But I had to help an old lady with her groceries to the other side of the village." Sakura narrowed her eyes while Naruto and Sasuke shrugged, beginning to stretch. "Sakura, if you must know, Sharingan no Kakashi, our sensei will never be on time except for an A-rank mission or a personal summons by Hokage-sama." Kakashi smiled. "You know me too well, Otoro." Naruto nodded and he continued, "Okay, this clock is set for noon," Kakashi said as he set an egg timer down, showing 2 bells between his fingers in one hand. "Your task is to get these bells for me before time's up." Sakura said, "Kakashi-sensei, there's only 2 bells." Kakashi smiled, saying, "Exactly, whoever doesn't get a bell will be tied to a stump while the rest of us eat lunch in front of them. They will also be sent back to the academy for remedial classes." Sasuke smirked towards Naruto, who was silently waiting to get started as Sakura looked at him worriedly. "Come at me with the intent to kill, otherwise you'll never get a bell. Ready, start?" The 3 disappeared into the forest and Kakashi began accessing their hiding ability. "Sasuke is well hidden for a genin, while I need to improve on Sakura, and Naruto, I can't find him anywhere." He looked around but then saw Naruto still in the same spot. Kakashi regarded him. "You're an oddball, aren't you?" Kakashi then reprimanded him. "Shinobi must be able to disappear and retreat into the shadows, never seen. You don't seem to understand that, Naruto. I would have thought you learned that from your training." Naruto retorted, "I did, but it's also pointless against a Jonin that was once an Anbu like Sharingan no Kakashi. Besides, aren't you trying to access our skill level?" Kakashi reached into his pouch, forcing Naruto into a defensive stance, but he pulled out his Ika Paradise. Shinobi Lesson Number 1, Taijutsu. Naruto smirked inwardly, thinking, so he trying to make me fluster by seeming to underestimate me. I'll play into it slightly. Naruto yelled in mock anger, hey, why are you reading? Kakashi, not looking up, said, why? Well, I want to know the ending. Besides, since you're the dead last, it doesn't matter if I'm reading or not. Naruto faded away. What the hell, Kakashi thought, but suddenly turned to block Naruto's kick to his left. Naruto flipped away as two Kage Bunshins appeared next to him. They rushed forward as Naruto went for a low sweep, forcing Kakashi to jump over as both Kage Bunshin came down with an axe kick. Kakashi crossed his arms upwards, blocking the dual attack as he slid back slightly. He immediately launched shurikens at the Kage Bunshin, ending their existence. Naruto suddenly appeared from below after using hiding like a mole, trying to uppercut Kakashi, swatted the punch away. He followed up with a high backward heel kick which he caught, but his eye widened when Naruto's twisted his body upside down, sending his other leg to kick him in the throat. Kakashi blocked the kick, allowing Naruto to tap the bells for an instant before Kakashi intuitively kneed him in the throat. Naruto fell to the ground, coughing out blood, frightening Kakashi. Sorry, Naruto. It was Naruto, dispersed in a puff of smoke. Kakashi eye widened as he realized it was a Kage Bunshin, but before he could compose himself, two Kage Bunshins using hiding like a mole broke the ground, nearly grabbed his feet as he jumped in the air to the side. A voice rang throughout the clearing seemingly from nowhere. Shinobi lesson number 3, Ninjutsu. Sasuke immediately performed Katan, Grand Fireball, sending a medium-sized fireball toward the Jonin. Kakashi immediately realized that the Kage Bunshins were a setup for Sasuke's attack. He Kawarimi just as the inferno engulfed him, leaving behind a burnt log in his place. Sakura thought, impossible, how could Naruto be so good and even touch a bell, and is Sasuke-kun working with him? She was beginning to believe she had mistaken him for Sasuke until she saw him send a fireball toward Kakashi. When Kakashi disappeared, she could feel her heart pounding and went searching for Sasuke. Then she spotted Kakashi reading his book, leaning against a tree, skidding to drop down to avoid detection. She thought, thank Kami, he didn't see me, as Naruto suddenly switched her with a Kage Bunshin disguised as her. She noticed she was now in the bushes with Naruto and Sasuke watching Kakashi tap her. Kakashi whispered to her, Sakura, behind you, Shinobi lesson number 2, Genjutsu. Sakura turned around as he lifted his Hitaite from his right eye. Demonic illusion. Hell viewing technique. Suddenly Sakura dispersed in a puff of smoke. Kakashi eye widening, thinking Naruto, as he realized the Kage Bunshin switched with her. In the bushes, Squad 7 hid as Sakura asked, what's going on? Naruto looked at Sasuke, nodding, and Sasuke left to engage their sensei. Sakura, think about it, if only 2 people can pass to become genin. You're smart, so you know about the legendary Sannin or Hokage-sama's teammates of the Konoha Council. Besides, we can't defeat a Jonin individually, so he expects us to team up. Sakura thought for a moment, what about the bells then? Naruto pointed out, a distraction to make us turn against one another. Sakura, finally understanding, nodded, okay, so what are we going to do? Naruto then whispered the plan that he and Sasuke planned the previous night in her ear as her cheeks tinted pink from the closeness. A few minutes later, Naruto and Sakura then found Sasuke buried in the ground, trying to pull himself out. Sakura screamed and Naruto shook his head, freeing him. Harder than it looks, isn't it? He receives only an H, and then Sasuke smirked, I touched a bell too. Naruto nodded approvingly, I didn't ever doubt you could. He then whispered, receiving a nod from Sasuke, let's get the final act started. Naruto stated loudly while Sasuke then subdued her, tying her up. Alright Sakura, either me nor Sasuke can defeat Kakashi-sensei, so you're the odd man out. Sakura, feigned shock, began squirming, trying to get free. What are you guys doing? Naruto chuckled lightly. Well, Sasuke and I decided that if we couldn't get a bell, we'd use you as a hostage to negotiate for the bells. Suddenly an angered Kakashi appeared. You would use your own teammate just to pass the test. Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other, laughing haughtily. We don't need her. With me and Naruto's skills, we'd be the best genin team out of our class. Naruto threatened the tied-up Sakura with a kunai. Come on, Kakashi-sensei. No need for anyone to get hurt, just hand over the bells. Kakashi leaped ki, yelling, I'd never teach either of why. He suddenly felt a light wisp by his hip and looked down to see a stick hit the ground and the bells missing. He looked back up, widening his eye as he saw an untied Sakura, arms wrapped around Naruto, and Sasuke holding a bell in each hand. Suddenly the Sakura in front of Naruto winked at him before dispersing in a puff of smoke. Kakashi one-eyed smiled, an impressive plan, you two flustering and distracting me while Sakura snatched the bells and Kawarimi with a stick. They nodded. Well, congratulations, being the first to ever pass my test, so from this day forward we will officially be Squad 7. The bell rang as they returned towards the stumps to have lunch. As they walked, Kakashi spoke, I'm glad you discovered the true point of the test. In the shinobi world, those who break the rules and regulations are called trash, but those who don't care about their comrades are worse than trash. They nodded, fully understanding his message. Suddenly Nico appeared. Uzumaki-sama, the Hokage requests your presence. Naruto looked, asking, may I bring my team? Nico just shrugged and shunshin away. earlier near Konoha's gates. Anoka and Ringo Aimuri approached Konoha when suddenly a Tori masked and several masked Anbu appeared. Ringo Aimuri, member of 7 Shinobi Swordsmen of the Mist, wielder of Kiba and Uzumaki Anoka, will escort you directly to the Hokage Tower. Aimuri and Anoka nodding, surrounded by Abnu with weapons pointed at Aimuri. Upon reaching the Hokage, the Sandaime greeted them. Welcome Aimuri and Anoka to Konoha. Jiraiya notified me of your intent to join the Uzumaki clan in Konoha. I know a certain redhead that will be very excited to meet you. The Sandaime focusing on the 2 women before him. Ringo Aimuri, where have you been? Word had spread that you had died from some incurable disease a while back. She smiled mischievously, executing would-be treasure hunters trying to loot Uzushio while waiting for the civil war in Kiri to end. Jiraiya and Anoka stumbled upon me, informing me that the Uzumaki clan was being restored in Konoha. The Sandaime nodded as he took a drag from his pipe, then looked at Anoka. Anoka, was it? Where are you from? Anoka nodded. Yes, my parents left Uzushio a few years before its destruction, then give birth to me in a small town on the outskirts of Hai no Kuni near Kusa no Kuni border. After their death I began working with some scientists on a summoning project on Summons Island. The Sandaime puffed a few circles of smoke. Yes, Jiraiya informed me of that little incident. Anoka hung her head shamefully as he continued. Well, if you would fill out these documents I will gladly make changes to the clan's registry as well as approve your citizenship in Konoha. The Sandaime then asked, would y'all like to join Konoha's shinobi force? Aimuri smiling toothily and Anoka responded, we would like to meet with the clan head or heir as we have various obligations to him first. We would like to focus on the important duties necessary for stabilizing clan affairs. The Sandaime nodded understandingly, still giving Aimuri Jonin level and Anoka Chunin level notations on their file. The Sandaime requested an Anbu ordering, please bring Uzumaki Naruto, he is probably finishing his genin selection exam knowing Kakashi. Now at the Hokage Tower. After all reports and paperwork were completed, there was a knock at the door. The Sandaime answered, enter. Squad 7 entered and Naruto stepped forward kneeling, Hokage-sama. The Sandaime waved off the decorum, you may stand Naruto-kun. He stood as Squad 7 noticed the 2 women. Naruto cocked his head confusingly. Who are they? Anoka, an average-sized woman with dark eyes, long red hair with several bangs sticking out a white band on her forehead, wore a short white skirt, a purple sleeveless kimono blouse with yellow trimmings held by a traditional obi, and long streaming bows tied to it, and mesh armor underneath. She approached him mesmerized by his cerulean eyes. Konnichiwa, I'm Uzumaki Anoka and this is Ringo Aimuri, former 7 Shinobi Swordsman of the Mist. She pointed to a relatively short, about 4 feet 9 inches, woman with sharp teeth smiling at him toothily. We came to help you with restoring the clan. He smiled gently, shaking her hand, turning to Aimuri. She had long red hair distinctively tied at both sides to protrude upwards and downwards while the remainder of her hair flowed downwards, black eyes, wearing bandages loosely tied around her neck with a loose pinstriped long-sleeved shirt with a dark obi around her waist, black pants resembling hakama and striped leg warmers. He bowed before her. I'm honored to meet you and glad the rumors of your death were false. Will you help resurrect the Kurai Hagosha, Dark Guardians? Aimuri nodded, smiling mischievously. Sakura questioned, Kurai Hagosha, what's that? Naruto responded, a clan secret. Naruto turned back to Anoka and Aimuri, bowing to introduce himself and his team. He thumbed his chest proudly. I'm Naruto, Uzumaki Naruto. This is Uchiha Sasuke, he now lives in my manor. Naruto pointed to Sasuke, shocking several, and the Sandaime asked, why did you move to the Uzumaki compound, Sasuke? Sasuke shrugged. Naruto discovered in his mother's journal that we were god brothers and convinced me it would be better for team chemistry and training, so I accepted. Kakashi smiled, knowing their rivalry would be more similar to siblings than ever. The Sandaime nodded, knowing the close friendship Kushina and Mikoto had before their deaths. Sakura was shocked. God brothers? Both Naruto and Sasuke nodded with responding, yeah, seemed that our mothers were great friends. They were excited when they found out they were pregnant around same time. They were planning and wishing that Sasuke and me would grow up playing together and eventually be teammates. The Sandaime smiled. Yes, they were some of the finest kunoichi to grace the village, both achieving Jonin rank. You would have been placed with the Uchiha matriarch if not for certain circumstances. Naruto just nodded, knowing that being the Kyuubi Jinchuriki would make it difficult for any clan to adopt him. Naruto then continued, pointing to Sakura, this is Harino Sakura. We just passed our genin selection exam and became Squad 7 under the tutelage of the infamous Sharingan no Kakashi sensei. He pointed back towards the one-eyed masked Jonin. The Sandaime smiled. Well, Kakashi, I don't have to ask you later if your team passed or not. Congratulations, Squad 7. Squad 7 smiled, bowing in appreciation, and the Sandaime added, I need the Uzumaki clan to report back later this evening for a meeting of the clans to properly acclimate the Uzumaki clan with the other clans of Konoha. Naruto then asked, may Kakashi-sensei along with the other genin squad sensei, Higurashi Rei-san, Tuchi, Ayam-chan, Subaki-chan, Kazuhana-chan, Tenten-chan and Haruno's also attend. This incited several raised brows and the Sandaime nodded while Sakura questioned irritably Tenten-chan. Naruto nodded, yeah, I've already given her residence as well as Rei, Tuchi, Ayam-chan, Subaki-chan, Kazuhana-chan, and Sasuke. I was going to make the same offer to Kakashi-sensei and you today. Kakashi stepped forward ruffling Naruto's hair. I graciously accept Naruto. It'll be a great opportunity to be close to my cute little Oturo. Naruto swatted his hand away. It's nothing, Aniki, since you're one of my precious people. He then looked at Sakura. I've already sent an invitation to your parents to discuss moving on to the Uzumaki compound? Sakura nodded, smiling. I'll go let them know about the meeting. She ran out the office joyful she could soon be living close to her crush. Naruto addressed the Hokage, bowing. Hokage-sama, we'll take our leave to head to get Anoka and Amiri settled, so see you later. The Sandaime nodded and smiled, taking a puff from his pipe, requesting Kakashi stay for the Jonin sensei meeting in a few minutes as the remaining occupants exited to head to the Uzumaki compound. They arrived at the compound, entering the Uzumaki manor, and sitting in a chair in the living room was Kazuhana. She noticed them. Naruto-kun, I'm so glad you're home. She jumped from the chair, running and pulling him into a passionate kiss, wearing nothing but a small lavender tank top showing off her generous bust, and skimpy khaki shorts hugging her plump buttocks snugly. Suddenly a suffocating amount of ki flowed throughout the manor as Naruto turned towards with the other females, seeing Amiri glaring furiously at him and Kazuhana. Sasuke smirked, leaving for his room, already knowing his new friend's dilemma. Naruto sheepishly rubbed the back of his head. Oh, I forgot that she might be waiting for me. Amiri stepped forward, brandishing a blade threateningly out of nowhere, asking, Mind telling us just who this is, Naruto? Naruto gulped, stepping back, pointing to the source of Amiri's fury. Well, this is Kazuhana-chan that I mentioned earlier. I'm providing her sanctuary from Gato, the shipping magnate who trying to force her into a marriage. Kazuhana intertwined her arms around his neck from behind, squishing her bosom into his head. Ah, but you do so much more than just that for me, Naruto-kun. He was incredulously looking back at her like, woman, are you crazy? And then sigh. Look, Kazuhana-chan and I are intimate partners, as well as there are several other girls of interest. Kazuhana was closely watching Anoka, seeing that she just stood by calmly. I take it you are more familiar with Uzumaki dealings than your fellow clanswoman. Anoka nodded. Yes, I'm very much aware that we practice polygamy, and even if we didn't, Naruto-kun being the last known male and head of a prestigious and prodigious clan as ours would be required to mate with several females. Amiri shouted, What? Kazuhana smirked, glad to see that there'll be one more rational female joining me in explaining things to others. Naruto cleared his throat to gain their attention. Anoka, did you ever receive an Uzumaki tattoo? Anoka raised a brow. You know about the Uzumaki tattoo? Naruto smiled. Yes, it was branded into the clan head tattoo after I graduated the academy, but that is a story for another time. Her eyes widened, shaking her head. Since Uzushio was destroyed before my birth, my parents told me that only the clan head could brand an Uzumaki. Naruto nodded. Yes, that's true, but thankfully I'm now clan head, so Anoka and Amiri follow me. I'll brand you. Amiri stopped him. I'm not an Uzumaki though. Naruto smirked, running his hand through her hair gently. So where did you think you got such lovely red hair from, like us? Amiri now looked at their hair and her own, seeing the similarities. I always just thought I was unique. Naruto smiled. Well, you are my beautiful little piranha. It's called being an Uzumaki. She chomped her teeth at him playfully with a blush. They followed him to the ritual room and he branded them. They noticed that after Amiri was tattooed, she glowed brightly as a surge of chakra went through her system. Naruto explained, since you weren't pure Uzumaki, that surge of chakra was to awaken your latent genes. She nodded, understanding that she could truly call herself an Uzumaki now. They returned to the living room where Kazuhana sat waiting. While they sat in the living room, Anoka stated, I heard the Uzumaki family tree portrait was held in the grand hall back in Uzushio that showed who's related to whom as well as if they were dead or alive. Naruto nodded, pulling out a small replica of said portrait. While scanning through the names, he showed them Uzumaki Ashina, the clan head from the time of the Shodaime, and his niece Mito. His great-granddaughter Kushina, and finally Naruto's name in bold aqua blue underneath. Anoka pointed out, this signifies Naruto-kun as the 7th-generation clan head, being the great-great-grandson of Ashina Uzumaki. She then noticed her connection to the priestess lineage through her uncle's wife. After they ate lunch prepared by Kage Bunshin, they set out to tour the compound. Naruto informed them of different features of the Uzumaki estate, such as the Uzumaki clan's mask storage temple, Ashina's monument, and minor manors. He then showed them around the compound's shinobi housing district, civilian housing district. They visited the clan mausoleum, where they saw a statue of what seemed to be a beautiful woman with rabbit-like horns on her head and 3 eyes. Behind her were 4 banners with images and names of 4 men, Otsutsuki Hamura, Hagoromo, Indra and Azura. Next, he showed them the Eternal Fire Memorial, surprisingly honoring all the dead clansmen of the Kagaya, Senju, Uchiha, and Uzumaki clans in front of the Grand Hall located in the main district. He informed them, I actually used the Uzumaki compound restoration seal to structurally modify the compound to match Yuzashio's Uzumaki compound before restructuring the layout to add buildings for the Uzumaki estate, shinobi, civilian, and main district. After they finished, everyone headed back to the Uzumaki estate to dress to go to the Hokage Tower to meet and properly introduce themselves to the other clans. Naruto, walking beside Kazuhana, whispered, Can you please come to my room? I have a last-minute alteration I want made to my clan kimonos? Kazuhana seductively smirked, nodding. Once everyone was dressed in formal wear, Naruto wore his black battle kimono with mesh armor underneath, red hakama, an aqua blue obi, and Haori Haimo, red Haori with the official Uzumaki clan insignia on the back, white tabi socks and red seta sandals designed by Kazuhana with the new alterations. Naruto proudly led his entourage towards the tower. As they passed through the village, many people kept stopping to stare at the small group of Uzumakis as they strolled through. Naruto had the biggest smile, while many were whispering. The Uzumaki clan is growing already, and the Uchiha is with them. The Hokage Tower. Once they entered the tower, they were led to a big meeting hall where the Sandaime, Konoha Council, Elder Danzo, also representing the Shimura clan, clan heads and their families, and Squad 7, 8, and 10 Jonin sensei. Naruto stepped forward, bowing to the Sandaime, Konoha Council, Elder Danzo, and clan heads, stating with a smirk, Greetings on behalf of the Uzumaki clan. I am Uzumaki Naruto, the 7th generation clan head and great-great-grandson of Uzumaki Ashina by decree of clan laws. The Sandaime eyes nearly bulged out. You're a direct descendant of Ashina-sama? Naruto nodded. Did you know him, Hokage-sama? The Sandaime shook his head. No, I only heard and read great and fearsome things about him from Mito-sama and Hashirama-sensei, the Uzumaki clan head during the time of the clan warring era, who nearly wiped out the Hyuga clan, which were your rival in comparison to the Senju Uchiha rivalry. It was reported he just disappeared during the beginning of the First Shinobi World War. Hayashi stiffened at this, remembering history lessons from his grandfather of the clan warring era. Naruto looked at Hayashi, expressionless face, having both his daughters and Niji with him. Hyuga-san, I know our clans haven't gotten along in the past, but I would like to rekindle a kinship between us from the time before that incident. I implore you to allow me to create a more efficient humane seal to be used as protection for the Byakugan and end the use of the caged bird seal. Hinata, Hanabi and Niji along with several other occupants' eyes widened and Hayashi eye twitched. I know why your clan was once nearly exterminated by my great-great-grandfather, and empathize that he should have handled it better, and know that he regrets his actions at the time. Hayashi gave him an incredulous look. Enlighten me, Uzumaki-san. Naruto nodded. When the Hyuga clan came to the Uzumaki clan for help in protecting the Byakugan, they stole and warped the Uzumaki prisoner seal, creating the abomination, caged bird seal. As a clan that always puts family above all and priding ourselves on our fuinjutsu abilities, Ashina-sama found it extremely disrespectful to use our knowledge to create such a travesty to be used on family, rushing to punish the Hyuga main branch. Hayashi responded, Well, Uzumaki-san, as much as I appreciate the offer, I would advise you to stay out of other clans' business if you truly wish to restore your clan peacefully. Naruto caught everyone by surprise as he laughed darkly, drowning the room in ki before calmly declaring, Hyuga-san, I would advise you not to take my youth as incompetent to extinguish all those that threaten my clan, especially when I have the knowledge and power to destroy them. Everyone could feel the powerfully pressure directed solely toward the Hyuga patriarch as the Sandaime quickly shouted, Naruto. Naruto bowed sincerely, then smirked toward Hayashi. My apologies, Hokage-sama. It seems Hyuga-san caught me in my blind spot. Hayashi's brow rose, vaguely questioning. You don't? Naruto answered plainly, I have great-great-grandfather personal journals. As I said before, I only wish to eliminate an abomination of my clan's art, so if you agree a blood oath could be established, then again I could just offer asylum to branch members that wish to have their seal replaced. Hayashi irritably questioned, You wouldn't? Naruto's smirk was all the answer he needed. Hayashi then closed his eyes shortly. I would need to discuss this matter with the elders. Naruto nodded. I understand you have 3 months or I send word to the Fire Daimyo and begin accepting branch members, but you may send a messenger whenever ready. Hayashi nodded, and some in the room were already looking forward to the end result, especially Danzo smirking inwardly. Everyone sat or stood curious of the exchange between the two clan heads. Finally, the Sandaime cleared his throat. If we could continue with the Uzumaki clan induction ceremony. Naruto stood nobly. First, I'd like to state I am enacting the Uzumaki clan resurrection act, which clan laws require that I have at least 4 wives, not including the head priestess of the priestess bloodline, as well as taking on several concubines. Everyone could hear a slight perverted giggle from Kakashi, to which Naruto just shook his head but keep a stoic visage. It's because I am the last known male clan laws required such extreme measure be taken to ensure enough male offspring are produced to restore the clan. Most of the men had smirks on their faces, while a few females not of the Uzumaki clan felt disgusted by such practices. Some laughed raucously, making everyone look at her until she settled down. Pup, You must be a true alpha male as you made that entire statement with a straight face and passion for your clan that you'd do whatever it takes to restore them. Naruto smirked, nodding at her compliment. Kami did bless me with a god's stamina. This caused the Uzumaki clan women and several other females present to blush while Kazuhana wrapped around him from behind, nodding vehemently. Thank you, Kami, for truly blessing us with such a gift. Some stared without blinking before smirking. I have a daughter that's very much available. Hana stammered, trying to form a sentence, and the room erupted in laughter at her. Kaka-chan, he's only 12. Then Naruto slipped out of Kazuhana's hold, walking up to her, grasping her hand, softly kissing it. He pointed to the curvaceous young woman. But my beautiful spring flower, I've already been intimate with Kazuhana-chan, not to mention I'm interested from Ayam-chan. Now he was pointing to the young ramen chef. They're both around the same age as you, so don't worry, I'm accustomed to handling older women quite well. He had a fox-like grin that could melt the ice in any girl's heart. Kazuhana then added, Hana, I can assure you Naruto will take good care of all your needs. The entire room went silent as everyone looked at Hana for a response, to find her opening and closing her mouth like a fish with a crimson blush. Inoichi, deciding to have a little fun with his daughter, smirked. I would suggest my daughter as well, Naruto-san, but you may be too much for her at this time. Ino, blushing, yelled, Daddy? His wife slapped his arm, playfully smirking as well. Naruto-san, be that as it may, we would love for to have dinner with us as thanks for saving our daughter a month ago. Naruto smirked. How about you, Ino? Would you love for me to come over for dinner? Ino blushed, intensified, shyly avoiding his gaze, nodding. He then turned back to Tsum, who was shaking her head at her daughter. Since my daughter seems incapacitated at the moment, maybe you could also join us for dinner sometime. This incited laughter throughout the room. Even the stoic Hyuga clan head lips twitched upward, spotting his daughter glaring at the Yamanaka heiress. You really have a way with the ladies, just like your father, Naruto-san, as Naruto chuckled, nodding while returning to his entourage. The Sandame flexed his chakra, requesting everyone calm down. Naruto then introduced his fellow Uzumaki clansman. Anoka will become our clan's curator and my personal advisor. Amuri is actually an Uzumaki, was a former 7 shinobi swordsman of the mist, will be one my guardians. Nico immediately dropped before the Sandame, kneeling. Hokage-sama, may I make a request? The room went silent as everyone was curious why an Anbu would suddenly appear making a request. The Sandame nodded, waving his hand in approval. Go ahead. Nico nodded. I wish to relinquish my tenure in Anbu and take my rightful place as Uzumaki-sama's personal bodyguard. Gasp echoed throughout the room, and the Sandame asked, Are you sure about this, Nico? Nico replied, Yes, Hokage-sama. It was my family's duty in Uzushio before its destruction, causing my grandparents and father to flee to Konoha. The Sandame ordered, Take off your mask. Nico placed the mask before him. She turned and kneeled, head bowed before Naruto. Uzumaki-sama, I protected you many times during your childhood as my duties to Hokage-sama. Now I, Yuzuki Yugao of the Yuzuki family of Uzushio, vowed to protect you with my life until my last breath. Naruto, finally seeing her Yugao's face, saw a young woman with straight purple hair reaching her down to her waist, warm brown eyes and a shade of red lipstick. Then Kazuhana moved forward, whispering in his ear, Naruto, and I have deceived you again, as I knew of your heritage and burden when you first told me your name. She then knelt next to Yugao. Naruto-sama, I, Yuzum Kazuhana of the Yuzum family of Uzushio, offer myself to you fully as your personal servant and mistress. Ayam moved forward from the back, kneeling next to Kazuhana, and Naruto nearly collapsed from shock. Ayam? As he attempted to pull her up, but Anoka held him and glared. Naruto-sama, I am of Konoha, offer myself to you fully as your first concubine. Many in the room were stunned and speechless. Naruto finally regained his composure when reminded by Anoka, whispering, Naruto-sama, you have to respect their choice or shame them for life. Now complete the blood oath to officially recognize their vows and accept their offers. Naruto nodded. I, Uzumaki Naruto, 7th generation clan head of the Uzumaki clan. Naruto reached into his haori, pulling out an ink brush and a special bottle of blood ink. He then drew the seals for bodyguard and servant on Yugao and Kazuhana's respective right wrist and concubine on Ayam's left-hand ring finger. He then bit his thumb in performing the hand seals of Uzumaki blood oath. Hereby grant you all rights and privileges of your station by the powers bestowed upon me as clan head. He sent chakra into each of their seal. Now stand proudly. After welcoming Yugao, they exchanged hugs and congratulation. The clans then started their introduction of clans patriarch, matriarch, and heirs in alphabetically order, going from the Aburame, whom he informed he wished for an alliance between their clans to be discussed afterwards, Akimichi, Hyuga, Inazuka, Karama, Nara, Sarutobi, Shimura, and finally Yamanaka. After meeting with everyone, Ino asked why he had the kanji for the Kyubi no Yoko stitched on his right sleeve. Several in the room tensed as Naruto looked to the Sandame, asking, Hokage-sama, am I allowed to tell them? The Sandame waved his hand. It's your secret to tell, Naruto-kun. Shikamaru asked, so you have the Kyubi sealed in you? He went back to staring at the ceiling after getting a nod from Naruto, muttering troublesome. Naruto smiled. I knew if anyone could figure it out it would be Yushika. Shikamaru spare him a glance. I wasn't completely sure until just now, but the instructors and older civilians always acted weird around you, and the adults wouldn't say why. Naruto nodded. My status as the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yoko is an S-rank secret not to be spoken with penalty of death regardless of status. Which I don't understand because the Jinchurikis of Kumo receive praise, and it's not a secret that Kazekage's youngest son is an unstable host. You should just announce it, Hokage-sama, so that at least children can understand why their parents warn them and shun me. The Sandaime nodded when suddenly a boisterous Kiba stuttered out, You're the KK-Kyuubi. Which both his mom and sister both bashed him over the head into the ground. Naruto, irritated by Kiba's ignorance, asked Kiba, if you take a kunai and put it in a storage scroll, would the storage scroll become a kunai? A remorseful Kiba, realizing his mistake, hung his head, shaking it, and mouthed no. The Aburame clan stood bowing with Shino speaking, surprising everyone. We of the Aburame clan respect and understand that your relationship with the Kyuubi is no different than our clan's symbiotic relationship with our Kakachu bugs. Naruto nodded, loosening his obi, then took his haori off and slipped his kimono off his shoulders, pulling his mesh armor up past his stomach, which had all the women blushing at his faintly growing six-pack. He then applied chakra to his stomach, making the seal appear. The Yondaime, using 2 4-symbol seals and Uzumaki clan sealing formula together, created 8 trigram sealing style. He left an opening where the 2 seals meet, allowing the Kyuubi's chakra to slowly integrate into my reserves, increasing them. After putting his clothes back on, he invited all the clans to attend a clan cookout that weekend so they could celebrate the 3 new Jonin squads and tour the Uzumaki compound. He bowed to the Hokage, Konoha council, and clan heads before departing for the compound with his entourage, including the Aburame and Hareno, who had already graciously accepted his offer to move to the compound. Uzumaki compound. Once through the gates, before everyone dispersed to their respective homes, and Naruto created Kage Bunshins to escort his Aniki and the Hareno family to their respective residence. He, along with the Aburame, entered the main manor and the Uzumaki estate. As they followed him. Once seated in his office with Anoka offset to his right and Yugao to his left, Naruto chose to address the Aburame head. Shibi-san, I believe I have a proposition that would be beneficial to both our clans and Konoha. Shibi questioned, What exactly do you have in mind, Naruto-san? Naruto smiled as Kazuhana brought in green tea for everyone. He pointed to her. Well, you see, Kazuhana-chan here is an amazing seamstress. Since your clan is renowned for the best silk throughout the elemental nations, I would like a few of your silk beetles with harvesting technique. In exchange, I'll provide hyperbolic growth chambers to reduce your hive growth time. The Aburame brows rose significantly. You are telling me that you have a way for hive to grow rapidly? Naruto nodded. Yes, I've created hyperbolic growth chambers where time passes 365 times faster than in the real world. If the Aburame did not wear glasses, Naruto would have seen their eyes bulge out of their sockets as the matriarch gasped. Shibi adjusted his glasses. If you can truly provide such knowledge, then we would be more than happy to provide you with a whole silk beetle hive with harvesting technique. Naruto nodded, retrieving a large scroll from his office storage room. I've included 10 hive chambers that only need you to charge chakra once daily. Each chamber has the capacity for up to 1,000,000 beetles, which once maximized will no longer charge. Shibi nodded. Naruto-san, on behalf of the Aburame clan, I graciously accept your proposal. I will personally bring the hive and teach Kazuhana the harvesting technique. The 2 clan heads shook hands and bowed before the Aburame left for their compound. Anoka smiled approvingly. That was good for your first alliance, Naruto-kun, but you need to learn better negotiation tactics. You gave them a considerable benefit for 1 little silk beetle hive and harvesting technique. Naruto shrugged. I really only did it for the harvesting technique because I have a few Kage Bunshins retrieving the reclusive rare silk metal beetles for a few hyperbolic growth chambers. We will have an unlimited supply of silk metal and Aburame silk for clothing and ninja wire to sell and stock our armory. Nico smiled. Naruto-sama, you're a shrewd one. He smiled appreciatively of her approval. Kazuhana smiled, nodding approvingly as he gestured towards her. Kazuhana-chan, please retrieve Sasuke. We need to discuss a few things privately. Late night. Naruto was standing on a small bridge overlooking a pond of koi fish. When Anoka approached him, Naruto-sama, why are you out here so late? Naruto looked to her and then the stars. Do you feel that a clan head must be willing to do anything to strengthen his clan? She thought for a moment. Well, if what he or she must do is in the interest of protecting their clan, then yes. Naruto looked at her from the corner of his eye before at the fish below. What about wanting to gain power to protect and strengthen one's clan? She could feel that his mind troubling, but what she did not know. What powers do want exactly, Naruto-sama? He sighed. I don't know, I just look at the world and I see and hear of so many clans being wiped out, and wish to ensure that what happened to Yuzashio never happens to the Uzumaki again. Anoka smiled lightly, stepped close to him. I can feel great warmth from you, Naruto-sama, and that warmth tells me that you will become the greatest clan head in Uzumaki history. She leaned and pulling his mask down, kissing his lips softly. He stood wide-eyed with a smile. Anoka-chan? Anoka giggled a little. Just because I chose not to show my feelings towards you doesn't mean I don't have them. She rested against him, her head on his shoulder, and he wrapped his arms around her. He looked to stars, smiling. Arigato, Anoka-chan. I appreciate that because I felt like I need to darken my heart to ensure I accomplish the goals I have for our clan. Anoka smiled. They say the end doesn't justify the means, but yet the sacrifice of one is worth it to save hundreds or thousands. I just know that so long you don't lose who you are as a person, then whatever actions you take will be forgiven by those that truly love you. He lifted her head, looking deep into her eyes as the smirks matched, and kissed her. He held her cheek softly, running a hand through her hair. They finally broke to gasp for oxygen as either wanted to relent the pleasure of the other's lips. Underground office. Naruto sat at his desk with his chin resting on his hands. He was looking at 4 vials of DNA liquid. He was serious when he asked Anoka if a clan head had to anything to ensure the protection of his clan. Now before him lie not only the catalyst for beginning one of his many goals, but obtaining power only a few could only dream of. He sealed the contents in a special blood storage scroll, sealing it into a storage seal underneath his desk. He walked out and headed back to his manor to get some needed rest, as he had his team's first official meeting and possibly mission tomorrow. He walked into his room, not surprised to see Kazuhana in his bed, and stripped down to his boxers before sliding in beside her. She turned, pulling him into her body, and kissed his cheek. Oyasumi Naruto-kun. He smiled, putting his hands over hers. Oyasumi Kazuhana-chan. What if Naruto has heritage Uzumaki clan services? Thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoyed this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.